Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmy Wissman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another amazingly exciting and exhilarating edition of Crime and Sports. God, are we pumped? Jacked as usual.
Every week.
A couple of things to go over before we get to our moron of the week here.
Yeah.
First of all, crimeinsports.threadless.com is where you can get all of your crime and sports merchandise, all of your cups and shirts and mugs and bath mats and you name it. We have towels, you name it, blankets. It's there. All the sayings, We've
got a fucking shower curtain.
We have shower curtains.
It's
can have a shower curtain that says "You sir may fuck off" on it. So go there, get your merch right now. Live shows, Boston on February the 18th, 4 p.m. at Laugh Boston is live Crime and Sports.
Yes.
Get your tickets right now.
You better hurry up.
Better hurry up on those. And 1 p.m. Small Town Murder also has some tickets left. 7 p.m. Small Town Murder is sold out, which I'm happy to say, honestly. That's good there. Also, guys, thank you guys immensely for all of your Patreon and your PayPal this week.
Yeah.
It's been incredible. Thank you guys so much. If you want to make a donation, we appreciate it more than you could know. You can do that at patreon.com/crimeinsports. Every penny counts, and every penny is amazingly appreciated. It's the coal that keeps the train moving. We can't tell you what it means to us. And if you want to do a one-time donation, that is no problem. You can do that over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com.
There you go.
And like we said, every dime is... we're overwhelmed by
ridiculous.
it. It's never appreciated isn't even the correct word for it. We're overwhelmed by it.
If I could physically do backflips, I would do them.
Yes. And if you can't do any of that, but you still want to help the show, you can do that also by going to iTunes and you can leave us a review. That also helps us out immensely. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. It's not for us. It's for iTunes and their funky little chart algorithm that they have. We have nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
We wouldn't care either way.
No.
Honestly, we wouldn't care, but we have to care for this. But never mind all of that, guys. Hope you enjoyed last week.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed Travis Smith's insanity.
What the fuck?
That was a crazy story. That was a story kind of unlike any we've done before because it was like it was weird because his crimes.
It's a biological warfare.
It's a biological war.
We haven't had any of that yet.
His crimes aren't technically illegal things, but they are in terms of what he was with.
Right.
It's
if
very
you know,
strange.
Then it's illegal.
Yeah.
If you
it's
don't,
like,
then it's not. But
it's kind of
still
like
shitty.
If you're driving, it's not illegal, but then if you have booze in your system, then it becomes drunk driving and it's illegal. The activity you were doing wasn't necessarily the bad thing. It was your condition while doing it.
Right.
And that's what Travis had, except not with driving, with his penis. So... it's very interesting. Listen to that episode. It's super unique. Today's episode is insane.
By the way, I had friends who, not necessarily friends, but people asked me what I do, and I told them that I do my side work, and then I also make podcasts. And then they asked what the podcast was, and I told them what it was, and then told them the description of last week's episode. A man played football and gave some people some AIDS. Yeah. And they're like, they what? What?
Yeah, we get that
just
a lot.
Go listen.
And this is the thing. Today we're going to have, this is one of the craziest episodes so far, by the way, today. It's going to be crazy. And this guy, if we do an equation, as we like to do our math, this guy is Ben Cousins plus Joey Barton divided by Edwin Valero.
Oh, great.
That's what we're dealing with here. That's gold. That equals a big pile of gold. Not for the people in their lives or surrounding them. A big pile of something. Yeah. And this is an unknown person, again. Yeah. And guys, we hear you when you say, oh, when are you going to do Chris Benoit? We're going to do Chris Benoit, okay? Right. We've all asked for it. We get it. We're going to do it. All right? We're going to do all of these famous cases.
Aaron Hernandez is coming.
We get it. War Machine on the way.
Right.
Trust us. Look, there is a finite amount of criminal athletes,
Right.
okay? We're not skipping anybody.
No.
We're going to get to every single guy who's ever done enough to warrant
Right.
us to talk about him for 2 hours.
Right.
Every single one. So don't worry about that. The thing is, we like to find, and this is the thing, I could do this, I could say we're going to do Aaron Hernandez this week, we're going to do War Machine the next week, I could line them up to where we could fucking spike our listens like that. And we're not doing it on purpose because we're doing what we think are good stories. And me personally.
And longevity. I want you guys to have fun listening.
Thank you. We'll get to all of those. And also, we want different stories. Do you want to hear the same thing over and over again?
How many times can you hear about fucking OJ?
Yes,
How many times?
You know what he did, right? Chris Benoit. You know what he did?
Right.
Yes, you do.
Right.
You know the story already.
Right.
Yes, we'll make fun of it and we'll all laugh about it in our own way. That's fine, and we appreciate that you want to hear the story from us specifically. But we also want to give you different things that you've never heard before, like this guy today.
Okay.
You would have never known he existed, and he's as crazy as anybody we've ever fucking got. I just called him Ben Cousins. Do you understand? He's the Finnish Ben Cousins, this guy. And he is a Finn.
He's Finnish.
He's Finnish.
Right.
We're going with Matti Enzio Nykanen. Okay?
By the way, you're going to have...
Never heard of that.
I already know.
Oh, I pronounce everything wrong.
Yeah, because Kat Ojala is going to love this because she's Finnish.
Yes.
And she's going to fucking hate us.
This guy's like Michael Jordan in his country.
Great.
He's like the most famous athlete.
Okay.
We'll get to how famous he is in his country, but he is the preeminent athlete,
and we're going to ruin
possibly
all of,
of all
time
names. In his country. We whenever we do foreign episodes, and it's a sport we've never done before too.
Really?
We don't know shit about it.
Okay.
We ask that you find our ignorance charming.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We're asking. No, but I have dark guys too. I have 2 dark guys ready, locked and loaded for the future.
Fucking awesome.
You know that shit's coming, guys. Come on. But this guy here, it's like I said, it's a different kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Basically, he's a Finnish guy. Matti. By the way, I'm going to pronounce everything wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing will be pronounced right.
I assume that already.
And it is so hard to find Finnish pronunciations. By the way,
they're the ones that do the dots over
everything.
It's ridiculous.
Fucking dots over everything. And then also the pronunciations. Unless it has an audio pronunciation, it doesn't really tell you how to pronounce shit. It really does. It's really difficult. But the best I can do is Matti Nykanen. Okay? That's the best I got. Sorry if I fucked it up.
Matti?
You know who I'm talking about. Matti. Matti.
Oh, okay.
So Matti.
Yeah.
He is born July 17th, 1963. Okay. Like I said, he is the Finnish Ben Cousins.
Okay.
That's all he is. You know what his motto is?
Oh, boy, he's got a motto.
Of course he does. This guy is a quote machine. He says crazy shit and never stops saying it.
Awesome.
He's like Yogi Berra if Yogi Berra was on drugs. You know what I mean? Like odd pieces of wisdom that are just muddled down by too much alcohol and just a disastrous ego. The ego on this guy is incredible. His motto is, Ben Cousins' motto was such is life.
Right.
His motto is life is life.
Well, what the fuck does that mean?
That doesn't even make sense. I understand maybe in Finnish, it's possibly that translates to something that means a little more than life is life, but the direct translation is life is life.
Well, fucking what else is it, you dipshit?
Absolutely. He was born in the worst looking name of a city I've ever seen in my life.
Fantastic.
Let's spell this, okay? JyvaskYla, and there are umlauts over 3 different letters in there. 2. I'm sorry, 2.
I'm not trying.
Jyvaskila, Finland? Jyvaskila, Finland he's born in, guys. Come on. Fuck, man. Patreon.com/crime and sports just for my sore head when this is over. Holy shit. This town is about 139,000 people. It's a, kind of a smaller, not a huge city, but in Finland's not a lot of people there also. Right. It's the largest city in the region of central Finland and on the Finnish Lakeland.
Ooh.
The Finnish Lakeland. Oh, boy, here.
Sounds like a swamp.
Yes, they gave a poet or a writer gave the area the nickname the Athens of Finland.
Oh,
which
Athens, Greece, and
because of it's a large educational center. This town, so it's got a lot of education.
There's a lot of philosophers in Greece, right?
Not just ass fucking.
Right?
Okay, because I know that's where you're going. What is everybody fucking each other?
Was there a lot of booty sex? Come on, my kind of place.
Now Finland If you, Jimmy, could you pick Finland out on a map
Nope.
if I took all
Absolutely
names
not.
off of countries?
I can only pick their
that
flag
out.
because that shit is basic as fuck.
It is. It is very basic. Well, Finland here. Finland is it's in northern Europe, obviously. It borders Sweden. Sweden's to the northwest. Norway is to the north, and Russia to the east.
Oh, so super white people.
So it's my. This guy looks like he's an albino for this place.
Yeah, they're so cultured.
Yeah, it's really, really, really white. The whole country of Finland has 5.5 million people in it.
Really?
So, yeah, it is not a big country.
The whole country?
Whole country, 5.5.
But
It's like the Metro Phoenix area, this whole country.
That's fascinating.
And most people are concentrated in the southern region of the country here. And almost 90% speak Finnish, so there's some other languages in there because there's a lot of countries right around there.
Right.
Capital is Helsinki.
Okay.
Biggest city in the country is Helsinki, has 1.4 million people, which is like a third of the city. So that's not too bad here. Finland was first inhabited when the Ice Age ended in 9000 BC.
Wow.
So there we go here. Now, Matti, on the other hand, came much later, 1963. So, almost 11,000 years later. AD. He is 8 years old when his father dared him to try a ski jump near the family home. Okay. He said, okay, and jumped because this kid is, first of all, he's highly, highly, highly ADHD.
Really?
Very, very, very hyperactive, attention deficit, hyperactivity.
Yeah.
He's got to do things.
Okay.
So my son's like that too. So
before it was even termed a
He was
phrase.
just, this kid's hyper as shit.
Right.
This was the type where you'd have this back in the day. You didn't give kids medication or took them to a doctor.
Right.
You just go run around the block 7 times, and you literally make them run around the block 7 times. You'd be like, "You tired? Good. Go upstairs. Shut up." So this, I think they had the same kid, and they were like, "Go jump that ski thing." They probably were hoping he'd break his neck or something, but I feel like, but no, he didn't. He loved it, and it became a huge obsession for him immediately.
Wow.
Ski jumping at age 8.
From a dare.
From a dare.
It's like
from his
Robert
dad.
Schimmel doing comedy.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what it was. He said, quote, "The only thing I wanted was to jump," was his quote, and to jump again. Wow. That's his quote. That's all he wanted. All he was interested in was jumping.
That's a fucking weird sport.
It is. You have to be a psychopath to do this sport. Everything we've covered dangerous shit. We cover sports where guys punch each other in the head as hard as they can.
Right.
We cover sports where guys drive 200 miles an hour. Nothing is crazier than this.
Well, the thing
is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
The weirdest thing about it to me is that the jump is less time than it takes to hike up that fucking hill to get to the actual top of the ramp.
When you see a man sail through the air with nothing but skis,
right.
and then
a tight fucking leotard,
they go like 500 feet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Traveling through a fucking air? That's insane.
No.
The only thing I can compare this to is power boating.
Yeah.
A couple episodes where power boating was, where they're like barely skimming the water, going 160 miles an hour.
Danger level.
And then if they move a little bit, they just disintegrate. The boat just disintegrates into flaps of paper and cardboard. And everybody's dead.
Right.
That's what this feels like to me. Like there's very little room for error.
At so much speed, too.
You either do it perfectly or die. There's only 2 ways to do this. There's no other fucking way to do it.
At minimum, broken bones and a concussion.
At minimum, you're fucking yourself up bad. So there's really not a lot to do here. It's crazy. 1974, he enters his first contest at that point. So he's 9 years old. He's 11 years old. I'm sorry. Not even 11. He's 10 because it's in March. He enters his first contest. It's an 8-meter hill, which is still 24 feet, which isn't bad. He takes first place in his age group.
Actually, meters is longer than yards. Right?
Yards is longer. Meters.
Oh.
No. Yards is 3 feet. Meters is 39 inches.
Right. There you go.
So
it's further than 24 feet.
Exactly. But we'll call it 25 feet.
Right.
Let's
call it 25 feet. We're in good shape.
He's shooting off a 25-foot thing here. Now, we're going to do it in their own words to start out. And this is just a palate. Okay. This is just to get the palate going here. Awaken the palate to him because it's just... Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Most of what he says makes no sense, but he says it with the supreme confidence that he knows exactly what he's saying, which makes it even crazier. In their own words, quote, "Everything's starting from the experience when you learn to eat meatballs with a fork. Then you know how to do anything. An interest in food and an interest in sports go hand in hand."
What? He just compared fucking meatballs to sports?
Meatballs. It's like eating meatballs with a fork.
It's like eating meatballs. No, you're jumping 25 feet on skis.
I have no idea what that means. Like most things he says, I don't know. It seems like there's another conversation that he's half in whenever he makes a quote, and he's like finishing a sentence and then starting another one over here. Yeah, no, I'll get there. No, buddy, I got the... Okay, so I was saying with you, but it's like, no, what?
No, that's a 2x4, and those are meatballs, and this is sports.
It's the weirdest... That's
End of interview. What? Yeah. No.
It's so strange.
You can't put all that together.
It's all half quotes of half sentences.
Tell me though, with this sport now, so with an 8-meter jump, is he meant to jump all 8 meters?
Well, no, that's how high it is.
Okay,
I think, and then you shoot off of that as far as you can.
Oh Christ!
This is the ski jumping where you see the guys. It's a tall mountain, and you just see the guys shoot off the fucking mountain with the skis in a V nowadays.
Right. And then you either lean forward with their things tucked back.
Yeah, and they judge them based on distance and style and the way they keep. It's like a swimming. It's like a diving thing, basically. Like they judge it like that. It's fucking nuts.
At 10 years old, he's jumping off a ramp that's 25 feet in the air.
Yes. Shooting off with skis.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's fine. His parents are like, that's good. I don't know what the hell's going on with the fins.
Last year we dared him.
Yeah, and now he's shooting off of shit. Ski jumping, if we'll get into it for a second, this is a description of it that I found in an article here. A ski jumper sets off from the top of a ramp set at cable car height, which, think about that, cable car, ski lift, accelerates to about 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
60, then launches into an exhilarating parabola of gymnastically refined technique. In the large hill competition, skiers will expect to jump up to 145 meters. This is not something you do lightly in any sense on a whim.
450 feet.
In other words, perfect or dead.
Right.
All you have.
It's not something you do on a whim.
60 miles an hour, and then they shoot 500 feet out.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's...
the definition of it.
That's death wish. Yeah. And this guy's like, yep, going to do this. Love it. Can't get enough of it.
And then you're expected to land on your fucking feet.
Perfectly. Smoothly.
Wow.
And not only that, you got to land smoothly. That's part of the deal here. 75, 76 in that time, he was jumping from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day of the week.
What?
7 days a week, 9 hours a day, constant ski jumping. That's all he did. Go down, shoot off, go back up, do it again. That's all he did.
7 a.m. to when?
It's 8 p.m. It's 11
a.m.
11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay,
9 hours of ski jumping, which seems like
that's crazy.
I'd be dead by noon if I tried that.
I wouldn't do that ever.
Be dead by noon if I started at 11. He began. This is at the age of 9. He's doing this. By the time when he was 9, he was doing 2,000 to 3,000 jumps a year. That's a shitload of jumps, man. Oh, my God.
How do you do that?
That's a fucking crazy thing. Ski jumping started in Norway in the late 19th century. And as a sport spread all over Europe and North America. Here, like I said, it consists of the jump ramp. You take off. There's a landing hill where you try to go smooth here.
By your definition, this ain't a sport.
This is crazy. I'm calling this a sport just based on the deadliness of it.
It'd be great if we could drill them with paintballs or something while they're in the air.
This is a sport like Russian roulette's a sport. I feel like technically it's pretty sporting. I would say, but I don't know if it fits.
Because I can't interfere with his performance.
That's the only thing. It doesn't fit the parameters of the actual definition. But holy shit! Wow, that's crazy.
If you could drill him with a snowball or something,
that'd be fun.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be a lot of fun, man.
At minimal, a dodgeball in the face. It'd just be fun to throw shit at them while they're in the air.
Okay, feel like
mix this with skeet shooting. I'm on board.
Oh, dude, that's the decathlon for the next generation.
Yes.
Now let's see if this makes any sense. Okay, help me make sense of this, Jimmy. Okay. A ski jumping venue consists of a jumping ramp, a takeoff table, and a landing hill. Each jump is evaluated according to the distance traveled and the style performed. The distance score is related to the construction point, also known as the K point, which is a line drawn in the landing area and serves as a target for the competitors to reach. The score of each judge evaluating the style can reach a maximum of 20 points. Wow. Does that make sense to you? That K point?
Yeah, all it tells me is that some asshole tells you how many points you got.
Yeah, that K point thing though. That seems like there's a math involved there.
Yeah, it's just a length and
a line drawn in a landing area and serves as a target. Which that's fine.
But the K point is where you jump from,
that's
or
where
is
you
it...
land. It's a point in the landing area.
Oh, I got it.
Anyway, it started in the Winter Olympics in 1924.
Yeah,
and women didn't get into doing it in competition until the 90s.
Wow.
Well, they didn't let them. I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were competing against each other and firing off of mountains, but.
I got a question.
For medals.
Any pregnant chicks ever do this?
Oh, lots of them. Yeah, this is a very, very popular pregnancy sport. It's good exercise. They say do aerobics and ski jumping. Those are the two things you want to do.
8 months, 3 weeks. It's good for the baby to be born this way. That's what I'm told.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Right on the mountain.
This isn't a fucking sport.
It's just insanity.
I'm convinced it's not a sport.
No,
because
of course it's not.
How do you score points? Somebody decides.
It's a judge,
right?
Yeah, it's the same thing
Some
as
asshole sitting in a chair.
as a gymnast or something like that. It's the same shit. During the competition, by the way, it can also be performed in the summer on a run where the tracks are made from porcelain and the grass on the slope is covered with plastic and water.
What?
Shit, no. Give me snow, or I'm definitely not doing it anywhere else, especially not...
they do it with mud.
They do it with mud. They basically put down a slip and slide, and they say, fire yourself off 500 feet and land on the slip and slide.
We're going to drag a toilet through it and make some grooves.
We're going to call it a K point, that'll make it fancy. This guy, though, so skiing, no problem. Yeah. I mean, up to in his early teens, all he's doing is ski jumping, and he's the best at it at every age he's at. He's the best at it. Also, a thing he's really good at, or really, really... well, not good so much as enthusiastic about is drinking.
Yeah.
He likes to drink.
Well, you have to.
Oh, boy, does he like to drink.
His knees are killing him already.
Well, this is that. He's got that personality type where Andy's ADHD, and I feel like he's just need
Andy's
input. I need adrenaline.
Yeah.
I need drunk. I need this. I need that. And wait till you see all the things he does later.
Really?
He needs to just be in the middle of some shit all the time. There's constant... He's just unsteady. He's very erratic. He's got a lot of things going on where you're like, why are you doing this? Why?
Do the Finnish make a good booze?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Finishes.
I'm sure they make beers, and I'm sure that they make stuff.
Isn't Grey Goose Finnish vodka?
That's a great question.
I know they make a popular
Finlandia?
vodka. There you go.
That's something. That's got to be one, right?
That has. I would hope so.
If it's not,
just fucking Finland
if it's
posers.
making in fucking Mississippi or something.
I was going to say,
they're assholes.
You know, it's made in Trenton, New Jersey. And they're like Finlandia. Yeah, that'll get the bit. I picture ice and cool, crisp water. Yeah, that'll get them. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that'll get these bitches in line. God damn it. So he started drinking when he was 14 and hit the ground running.
I'm sure.
He hit the ground like he came off a ski jump at 60 miles an hour. Boom.
Did he drink on a dare also?
No, he just drank because it was... I think because it's cold there, too. Everyone drinks there. It's like Pennsylvania, I think. Finland, the Pennsylvania of Europe. The Western Pennsylvania.
I knew that was coming.
Helsinki, the Scranton of Northern Europe. You knew it had to be coming, man.
That's awesome.
Oh, Christ, man. So he's just into one focus, and that is skiing. There's nothing else. His coach, Matti Pulley. Apparently, Matty's a popular name there. Matti Pulley is his coach, and he says that they were developing new training techniques, and they were just all in on skiing. That's it. He was having them wear weight vests. So kind of like when you got a donut in the batting circle.
Yeah.
So a weight vest. So when you fly off, I guess you'll feel more lighter, I guess, but that makes no sense.
Well, it's probably helping them with their jump.
I was going to say, I don't know what you need to do to get off of that. I don't know. I don't think you just fly off it like a ramp.
Right.
I think you have to boost
jump.
yourself, and then I would imagine so. Otherwise, you just fall down.
Yeah,
60 miles an hour or not, you wouldn't.
I feel like
fly 500 feet.
I've seen them like at a crouch position almost, and then at the end of the jump they jump.
Yeah,
I think that's
what they. And he's very light also.
Really?
He's a lighter guy, and you'll hear guys later on talking shit like, well, yeah, I mean, we're all good and stuff, but I mean, he's just like 20 pounds lighter than me, so of course he's going to go a little farther, a little faster. Like, people are like, yeah, he's not that great, right? Because he's so fucking good. He's so good. And by the way, ski jumping is excessively popular in Finland. This is not like some side thing. Like, we're like, how does this work?
Right.
That's like baseball there. Like,
really?
It's freezing out. Anything you do in the snow, I don't know if baseball, it's almost like sumo in Japan would be the best way to compare it. It's like a national sport kind of a thing. It's crazy. He was very good with a lot of the subtle techniques and the technical things. He could fly farther than anybody else. February 11th, 1981, he takes the gold at the FIS Junior World Championships, which is fantastic for him. That's his first medal. It's his first gold medal and competition. It's his first big competition, like a world competition. Now, as an adult here, he claims a victory in World Cup competition in 1981 on December 30th. Later on, he'll get his first World Cup title in 83. January of 83 here, he goes 125.5 meters on his final attempt and at Big Thunder Hill in Ottawa. But he's Big Thunder Hill, the guy he beats from Ottawa. I apologize.
Okay. And in 83, he is 20 years old?
He's 20 years old. And dominating.
Okay.
He had an opening round jump here of 117 meters. Okay. And they take off your best. They take off your best and worst jump, and you get the middle jump is your number.
He's flying over a football field.
Yeah, it's insane, and it's his third consecutive World Cup victory off a 90-meter ramp.
Wow.
So he's killing it, man.
He's jumping further than he's coming off of.
Yeah.
Wow.
Launching himself.
Now, what does FIS stand for? Finland International
Sporting,
shit?
whatever. Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, I can't. Or skiing. Skiing.
Probably skiing.
I looked it up too, and I didn't write it down. And I was like, I'll remember that, and I didn't remember that because I'm a moron. But it really doesn't matter. Some Finnish skiing bullshit.
I wanted to make fun of it. That's all.
Would have been something boring anyway. The Finns are a boring people.
I was FISHING. That's what I was.
Yeah, I get you. I feel you. Now, what Matti says about this particular outing, he says, quote, I knew I needed a long jump to win. I didn't try anything special because I'm confident in my ability. After I had gone 20 meters, I knew I made a good jump. Okay. So he says that. He says that through an interpreter also because unlike a lot of people in Finland, he speaks nothing but Finnish. Yeah. And it's really kind of most people speak something else, and he's just straight Finnish.
Which sticks with it.
There's only 5 million other people that understand you in the whole fucking world. You got to pick another language.
Well, there's 7 billion people, you dick.
You've picked a very... That's a niche, man.
That's like picking Klingon. What are you doing, man?
As many people probably know Klingon as know this. I'll say that right now. So this...
Hold on. He said after he jumped 20 meters, he knew he made a good jump.
After he was 20 meters gone, he knew, okay, I'm flying.
He's got 100 to go.
Yep, but he knew it's a good jump. It's kind of like if people hit a golf ball right away, they know if it's a good ball. If you hit a baseball, run, you go, I got to hold it.
They drop that bat quick.
Yeah, they know right there here. So he ends up with 5 victories that season in 83. He leads the World Cup standings that year. He's he comes in second at Kogler and Bulau. Bulau's a guy. I apologize. The cities, the names. Kogler Kogler is second in the standings. Bulau is third in the standings that week. Wow. Anyway, this jump here was held in mild and foggy conditions, which they all say was to his advantage. They said when he jumped, there was virtually no wind. At the time, he only weighed 130 pounds. Wow. They said he was able to ride the dead air better than larger competitors. And the Blue here, the second place guy, said, quote, Matti's advantage is that even though he's the same height as me, he weighs about 20 pounds less. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a great jumper. It's just that he carries a little bit farther because of his weight. Okay. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he's a little shittier than me. He's just lighter. That's all I'm saying.
Qualifying a statement is doing exactly what you're saying.
Not taking nothing away from the guy. Yeah, if we talk about another podcast and we were like, not to talk shit about this podcast, but we're talking
totally
shit about
shit.
that podcast right now. Like, absolutely. It's coming. It's 100% going to happen at that point. So he's like, he's a great jumper, but he's just light.
Right.
He's just fucking light. You force feed that asshole a couple of brownies, and I'm the champ. Understand?
I'm not calling him 20 pounds lighter, but he's 20 pounds lighter.
Just saying, if McDonald's comes to Finland, I'm in first place. That's all I'm saying right now.
I'm not racist, but
yes, I'm not racist, but Matti says, quote, when you're about to jump, you are all alone and have to make your own decisions. Up there, it's all up yours.
Your language is dumb.
Up yours. That's what he says. All righty.
Okay.
All up yours up there. All right then. I don't even know what to make of that.
It almost sounds like an insult.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it. Whatever. 1984 is the Olympics. The Winter Olympics are in Sarajevo.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's the garden center of everywhere. That's where everyone wants to be. Sarajevo. Good God. That is sweet.
Point me towards the concierge.
Oh, man, was Venezuela unavailable? Was Caracas not open for business that week? Shit.
Sarajevo.
Fuck me.
I just picture bloody children when I think of Sarajevo.
Crying over there.
Where's my parents? That shit going on.
This is first Winter Olympics.
Move out of the way, bloody children. Yeah. I got jumps to make.
Come on. No. The bloody children stand at the bottom and wait for you.
They're like used tires on the outside.
No, not for that. They tell the bloody children, watch the greatness and you'll feel better. Don't worry about it. If you watch that, you'll be inspired. Yeah. And they line them up on the sides of the jump.
But also, just in case I wipe out, they'll cushion the stop.
Yeah, that too. They'll go, ooh.
Can you do it again? I missed it. I had blood in my eye.
Back to your rubble now, children. The ski competition's over. Back to your rubble. Okay.
Go back and try to dig your parents out.
So,
fuck.
This is the first Winter Olympics held in a socialist state here. Okay. So it was kind of a big deal politically. They held the Summer Olympics in Moscow in 1980, which we boycotted. Right. But this is the first Winter Olympics, and they ended up having another one in Beijing as the other socialist one later on. This was... Matti dominates. He wins the gold medal on the large hill and the silver medal on the normal hill.
Oh.
The large hill, he had a 17.5 point margin of victory in the judging. He won by 17.5 points, which is the largest margin of victory in Olympic history for this sport.
Killing it.
So he just pummeled everybody, crushed them, left them like bloodied children in the Sarajevo mountainside. Just... crushed them.
He did that on the large hill.
On the large hill, yeah. The normal hill, he got a silver because he wasn't as interested in that.
Fuck that.
There wasn't as many kids at the bottom, so he was like, I'm a little leery.
It's not as impressive anyway.
No, definitely not. A competitor of his, a guy named Michael Collins, said, thank God he's not finished, Jesus. He said, quote, no one could really touch him, it seemed. He was definitely the guy you looked to, you watched for technique because he did stuff no one else did.
Okay.
So
was that an American?
I believe that Michael Collins, a Brit,
South
maybe.
African.
A Brit, something like that. Yeah. So right now he's an Olympic champion. Yeah. He's got a little bit of an alcohol problem, but it's not affecting his life in the slightest. Yeah. He's dominating everything he does. He's probably having a couple shots and then flying through the air like a madman and saying, up yours, like he said. So he's doing all that. I'm going to say it now, Jimmy. This is grace.
That's grace.
This is grace.
A gold and a silver, we got grace.
This is grace. He's going to do a lot of other things, but they're not going to be all good. Yeah. This is the end of the happy, Matti, everyth's fine period.
Would you say it's all downhill from here?
It's all downhill from here. It's all off a ramp from here. Tell you what, it drops off real fast like a ski ramp.
I love it.
So March 1984, he breaks the ski jumping distance record twice in the same day at Oberstdorf, Germany.
Perfect.
Whenever we're mixing languages, it's like I get I'm trying to figure out umlauts, and then I got Oberstdorf, and I'm like, fuck, that's not.
Does that start with an O or a U?
Oh.
Okay.
Again, he does that again in 85, breaks the ski jumping, breaks the distance record again, becomes the first person to clear the 190-meter barrier.
What the
with
fuck?
a 191-meter jump.
Wow.
That's like 600 feet. That is fucking far.
The first human being to jump
First person
wow.
ever to do that, which I can't imagine anybody doing that.
Or why you would want to.
The record nowadays is like 217 meters, by the way, set this year. Because they started a different style. This was before they would do if you've ever seen a ski jump, we've all seen them. Yeah. You see how their skis are in a V?
Yeah.
They didn't do that back then.
Okay.
They didn't start the V thing till 1991. I know way too much about ski jumping now.
But it's for obvious the fucking aerodynamics.
Right. They did parallel before that, so they just have them out. So since they've changed that, certain techniques, certain equipment's changed. You've been able to get a little farther.
This son of a bitch may have done further.
But 191 feet in 1985 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That year, he also took home the World Ski Flying Championship in the process.
Wow.
So that seems good. The Ski Flying World Championship here took place in Planica, Yugoslavia.
Jesus
which
Christ.
sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I got to say here, the defending champion was an East German. Back when
Really?
Germany was two countries there. Wow, I forgot all about that.
Somebody on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, that's it right there. And he became the new champion. No qualifying time. They just did fire off that goddamn mountain and do your thing here.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit,
At the time, I was paranoid.
threats,
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
and murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit,
At the time, I was paranoid.
threats,
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
and murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
So, I mean, he's winning world titles. That's 85. He's crushing. He's winning the Olympics. He's winning these. Like, wherever there's a place, wherever there's a mountain where lunatics are skiing off of them, this guy's going to be the best one.
Right.
And have a bunch of pissed off other skiers. I picture him like open mic comics.
Yeah.
Like, he has a good set, and they're all just like, he fucking brought like 5 people. He's
Right.
his people, and they'd start laughing and get the crowd going. Give me a break,
He
dude.
brought 5
Dude, I know, you know he brought 5 people. No, those are like people from his job, dude. You can
Right.
see him in the back. Yeah, they all left when he got off stage. Obviously, they're his people. Clearly. That's a conversation we've all heard if you're a comedian 100 times when you first started comedy.
Of course they like him.
Of course they like him. They're his fucking friends.
Right.
Jesus, yeah, he brought
He
him.
brings coffee to work.
He could have fucking made him stay for the rest of the show. Now I got to go up and 2 people. There's like 4 people left in the audience now. He takes his 5. What a dick. Oh, nobody tries. Nobody start doing stand-up. It's
Never.
horrible. You'll hate it. Just shoot yourself in the
Right.
fucking face instead. That's what you should do.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, find us a hard object that's like jutting out from a wall. Line your nutsack up with it and run into it as hard as you can, and go. That's a year 1 of
Or
comedy.
your
I did it."
vagina.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you got between your legs.
Yes,
Run into that
except
jut.
except if you're a woman, you're much more welcome in stand-up comedy right now.
It's true.
They're looking for you.
They are begging for you.
Pad your vagina. Don't run into that. Go on stage. They'll take care of you. They're looking for you. Men, on the other hand,
Just
kill
quit.
yourself.
Yeah.
Fucking kill yourself. If
Just
you
start
don't,
tugging in front of people
if
now.
you don't dance or do
Right.
some stupid shit that you'd be embarrassed about, stop doing comedy. Go kill yourself, because that's the only way you're going to fucking make it.
Something you'd be embarrassed.
That's it. Or get off stage and go start a fucking podcast so you're not so disappointed with how
Right.
this shit
You'll
goes.
cry.
So, 1985, he is voted Finland's Sportsman of the Year.
Oh.
Which doesn't seem like it would be hard to do.
Sportsman.
Sportsman of the Year. I don't know. Do they have how many sports leagues are there?
Yeah.
It's not like it was do we take Jordan, John Elway, Dan Marino, this time period, the 80s, Walter Payton maybe?
Right.
No, it's this guy and some guy who, ice fishes well.
The NFL nominates one person per team, and then they vote on that shit.
He pulled a 26-pound herring out of Lake Finland, so... Lake Helsinki, that's
26,000.
I don't know how big herrings are.
I have no fucking idea.
I figure they have
but that
herring
seems
there.
enormous.
It's like a big herring. That might be a small herring. We don't know. We have no idea.
You may need a bigger boat.
So there you go. So he's crushing it here. The USSA ski jumping coach Larry Stone, there's a U.S. guy, said, quote, he was kind of a savant. He couldn't tell you what he was doing, but he was absolutely the best in the world by so much for those years. He was a genius, absolute genius.
He had no idea what he was doing.
He didn't even know what he was doing. He's
Wow.
like one of these artists that just slaps some shit on, and we're like, that's fucking amazing. I can't draw a stick figure, and they're like, I don't know what I did.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's what this guy is.
What do you call
He's
that? What I just did.
Or like some sort of, Jimi Hendrix guitar savant that'll go out there and rip some shit up, and you're like, damn. And he's like, I was just dicking around. Like, that's what this guy's like. I don't even know what I was doing.
He's fucking around.
It's crazy,
Not
dude.
even trying.
It's very interesting. And God, now just think about the type of person this guy has to be to live on the edge like this all the time. Like we said, this isn't boxing. This isn't, things like that. This is one lapse of concentration.
Right.
Dead.
Done.
Fucking splayed
It's
out
over.
in the snow.
Yeah.
You are fucked, mister. So, I look at this and I'm like, Jesus, the fucking insanity you have to have.
I just saw paramedics picking up some dude
Yeah.
just going, you are fucked, mister.
You're fucked, mister. I pictured his leg up behind his head over here on one side, one leg sprawled out the other way.
And
you
he's
don't
going,
even
how
know where
bad
one of
is
his
it?
arms
You
are.
are fucked, mister.
You're fucked, mister. I'm sorry. You're going to hope you died. Let me tell you something. Just hope you die in the chopper. Okay, let's go. Bring him up. Off the side of a mountain, all cold. Now,
red puffy jackets.
you know it, yeah, big time. Fucking Saint Bernard with a thing around
gallon
its
of
neck.
whiskey on its neck.
They probably have those in Finland.
I'm sure they do.
So 1986.
We make fun of it in our cartoons and our
We
fucking
do.
in our
All
Bugs
of them.
Bunny, and they're like, "What's so funny?"
What's so funny? You need hot chocolate around your neck when you go into the. They would put it instead of whiskey, it would be hot chocolate in the
Right.
cartoons, like it's going to stay cold in there.
Steams and
Stay
shit
hot.
coming
Oh,
out of
yeah.
their faces. It's like, who wants hot whiskey? That's not good.
That's not great. So in 1986, he's an absolute genius, as we've discussed. Absolute genius, but he's also a fucking moron at the same time. Now let's find out why. There's some sort of kiosk. There's the national ski squad here had a. They have like their little headquarters, like these athlete centers, whatever. Well, he went and broke into this kiosk at night after hours to steal beer and cigarettes.
Holy shit.
In 1986. So he's 23 years old, world champion, gold medalist,
Stealing beer and
absolute
cigarettes.
genius. I'm going to break into a kiosk and steal beer and cigarettes.
Wow.
This is like what my friends did at the Little League Park at the concession stand when I was 15, when they decided their big crime would be to break into one of the concession stands and steal giant garbage bags full of candy.
Wow.
And they did. Giant, big, hefty, like yard bags, not just like a
The black
garbage,
ones.
the black ones. They hauled them off. And they hauled them and they hid in the woods. They left the door open so the police saw it and then looked for them. So now they're three kids wandering the streets with giant bags of candy trying to hide from police.
Amazing.
And they ended up getting busted.
Of course.
My friend Kevin was hiding behind a sign because there was cops out. And my other friend convinced him to look and see if there was cops. So he walked out, and you ever see a package of Spree, the long ones? And he had a package of Spree in his hand that he was eating. And he turned the corner, and there was 3 cop cars pulling up, staring at him. And he's got a package of Spree. And he looks at them and says, "I didn't steal the candy." That's exactly what he said. Package of Spree in his hand.
What candy?
I didn't steal any candy.
Kids are dumb.
That's how dumb they are. You know the difference? We were 15. I wasn't involved in that, by the way. And they were on acid, so that's the other reason why that happened.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. But I was 15, and they were 15, and none of them were a world champion at anything.
Yeah.
Believe me, complete morons.
Not even spree eaters.
No, they couldn't even do that correctly. This guy, on the other hand, same thing here. So he is expelled twice from the national ski squad as a punishment for stupid shit that he does over the next couple of years. Expelled twice. How dumb do you have to be to get expelled when you're the best athlete in the whole country? They don't kick Michael Jordan out of the NBA.
No.
He was gambling like crazy. They were like, no, you're
cheating on his wife every day.
No worries.
Yeah.
Get out on the floor. We don't give a fuck. They would have killed anybody that would have stood in the way of Jordan getting on the floor in the late 90s. They didn't give a shit.
Right.
Who cares?
And right up until Tiger Woods started being shitty at golf,
same thing.
They did the same thing for him.
There will be silver-haired middle-aged white men to cover that shit up if you're making billions of dollars for a sport.
When he starts losing, then they're like, fuck it. Who cares?
Fuck it. And then you're going to see the same thing with this guy here, because there are silver-haired middle-aged white men always defending him and saying, leave him alone.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, he's just having fun. 1986, he also gets married.
Oh, boy.
He marries a woman named Tina Hassanen. Tina with two I's. Tiina. Nothing is spelled correctly there ever. Tina Hassanen. They are married for about 2.5 years. It doesn't last long. They do have a son in this time period.
And?
We'll talk about that son possibly a little bit later. What do you think?
Is it really?
We'll see. We'll see. You're not going to know for a while. Trust me. It's going to be a surprise for later. Trust me. Just put that.
I'm
trusting I like to put Easter eggs
know how
in.
I trust you.
I like to put Easter eggs in. This is what I mean. You do trust me.
Yeah.
This is why I'm telling everybody to trust us with the stories and don't go, I never heard of that guy.
Right.
Look at it this way. Okay? Look at it like you're going out to a nice restaurant. Right. You're going out to one of those nice fancy restaurants with tasting menus that I can't afford with like a really good chef.
Right.
You don't walk in there and go, nah, I want this and I don't want that. And give me a hamburger and where's the fucking steak, man? Where's the T-bone? You sit down and you trust that chef is going to fucking lay out an amazing tasting menu.
I can't even pronounce what's on this menu.
Let us...
Your taste buds can pronounce it.
Sit down. We will bring out 21 courses of goodness.
There's a reason that menu was right by the door.
Yep.
To weed dicks like you out of here.
Whether you know it or not, it's there. So
that laminated shit stuck to the entryway of the building is to keep hillbilly shits like you the fuck out of here.
Uncultured fucking face dickheads out of our goddamn restaurant.
People that are going to order milk with their steak. Get the fuck out.
Take a hike. So 1987, he's awarded the Holmenkollen Medal.
Oh, boy.
Holmenkollen Medal.
Jesus.
This award is the highest award that Norway, he's not even Norwegian, offers skiing competitors and signifies that recipients have high rankings in international competitions. He shares this honor with Hermann Weinbuch, a German skier.
Okay.
So,
a Holmenkollen.
The Holman, I got a Holmenkollen award. Jimmy, this is why I've been doing this podcast.
Takes pills.
When we started this, I said someday, I mean, if we could just get some listeners and get on the charts, that'd be awesome. If we could win a Holmenkollen medal one of these days, then we're on to something, man.
It's got umlauts and shit over letters, doesn't it?
Fingers crossed, man. This actually doesn't.
Oh, because it's fucking Norwegian.
That's
Norwegian.
Why. Yeah, I think they use them too, but still.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they do.
Stop with those fucking things.
They don't even really mean much because it's still pronounced pretty much almost the same way anyway. So
Jägermeister has them over the fucking A.
I think that's just
the I.
So douchebags think it's European. Hey man, it's exotic.
It's so fucking good.
Let's get shit-faced Europe style, man. Fuck it.
Tastes like licorice, you fuck.
My puke tastes like Europe. Sweet.
My puke tastes like German pussy.
I wanted to go backpacking all over Europe for after high school, but instead,
but for $4.50 and some
Red
Bull,
just throw it up, and that's Europe, baby. That's Europe, all in your toilet bowl right there.
It's horrible when you vomit that.
Man.
It's all black. It's so bad.
So he's having problems with his wife at this point in 87 because he's crazy and he likes women also.
Of course
he
loves
women. Yeah. He loves to drink. He loves to act crazy. Why wouldn't a wife want that? And that's their husband. Ooh, I wonder. They've been married like a year.
Makes a great husband and father when you're doing shit like that.
Oh, yeah. A psychopath, womanizer, alcoholic with a death wish. That's perfect. Thanks. Let's have kids. What do you say? Want to have some kids with me? The stable life forever. They plan to divorce here. It's not finalized till 88, but they plan to divorce. They do have a son. You can tell what his problems are because during this time period, he is asked before a ski jump about this particular deal, about his plan to divorce with his wife, because it's like a personal thing, and he's a big celebrity, so it's a big deal. And they ask him, what's the deal with your wife? Do you have you cheated on her like the rumors say and all this? His quote, it's right before ski jump, mind you, so the end makes sense. His quote, well, pussy's always on my mind, but let's jump first. That's what he said. He goes, yeah, I'm looking for some ass, but not till I get to the bottom. Yeah, pussy's on my mind. I just got to jump first, and then I'm going to find whatever poon's waiting for me at the bottom. I'm going to scoop that up in a net.
To a reporter. His first word in his statement is pussy.
His first word, it's well. He said, well, pussy's always on my mind, but let's jump first, eh?
They asked Michael Jordan when he was divorcing his wife.
Yeah, he didn't say
same
that.
Question.
He didn't say that at all.
Pussy's on my mind, but as soon as I beat the Cavaliers,
he said, "Well, pussy's always on my mind, but let me dunk from the foul line first." He didn't say that. Let me drop 42 on Cleveland first. That never happened.
I run around with my tongue out because just in case I run by pussy.
I never know. I want to take a little gander at it, a little lick. See what's happening as I run by. I'll still dunk. I'll still hit the crossover.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Juke you to the left, take you to the right, and dunk on your fucking head.
Holy shit,
pussy's always on his mind, but let's jump first. What do you say? Isn't this guy gold? I love this fuck. He hasn't even done anything yet, by the way.
Holy Christ.
He does crazy shit. This is nothing.
Fuck?
This is just fun. He also said, and this would describe why his marriages end frequently, quote, love is like a ball of wool. It begins and ends.
What?
Okay, then. So that's, yeah.
Is there a beginning and end of a ball of wool?
He's not in it forever, let's just say. I
Got
don't
it.
think he's... Well, yeah, there's ends to a ball of wool. There's ends to the string.
Yarn. I got it.
Yarn.
I see what he's saying. I'm like, a ball of wool?
Yeah, it's in the
Who's got a ball
translation.
of wool?
Wool, yarn.
Got it.
We've gone over yarn making, so we don't want to go there again.
Let's stay away from that
Let's
shit.
do that.
My Twitter
People
feed is way
blew
too
the fuck
much.
up with chicks with wool hats
How
on,
much
with yarn
they hate
hats
me.
on. And they like us at the same time.
Yeah,
so that's
how much
very
they
odd.
hate my opinion.
Yeah, no shit.
Not
On
necessarily
wool.
an opinion.
Now, he is sent home from the Four Hills tournament this year for, quote, obstinate behavior and drinking.
Yeah.
In other words, this is what he'd get drunk, and they'd tell him to stop acting up and being drunk, and then he would be a dick to them. So I think that's the drinking, then obstinate behavior after that. So he, 87, he's starting to become a fucking bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say so. He starts at this point too in blaming bad publicity on other people.
Yeah.
Well, it's this one. Well, it's that one. Well, she said that. It's not me. I'm just doing my thing.
Sure.
Pussy's always on my mind, but I'm ready to jump first, baby. You know how it goes. And he tries to explain himself a little bit and his what's been going on in his head through all this. And we have it in their own words that attempts to explain this whole thing here. In their own words, quote, my will to communicate was very limited. The only thing I ever wanted was jumping. I was more open and outgoing than other athletes, but I didn't have a press spokesman to organize interviews for me. There's a profession like that today, but there was none then. There was publicists in the 80s, by the way. There was tons of publicists in the fucking 80s.
Right.
All over the place.
Right.
All over the place. Everyone had a publicist.
The fucking...
Everyone.
All the Goonies had publicists.
No, yeah. Did you hear anyone else starting a sentence to a reporter, well, pussy's always on my mind? You know what that tells you? They all had publicists but him. That's the difference. You don't think some athletes over here would have liked to start sentences? Well, pussy's always on my mind. Of course they would. But their publicist said, let's leave the pussy part out for later. We'll put it in the autobiography after you retire.
You know how many times Lawrence Taylor likely said that sentence?
Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Not to a reporter.
No, because he had a publicist.
He'd at least go, yeah, hey, this is off the record, but pussy's always on my mind. All right, on the record now. What did you say to this guy?
No, I don't like prostitutes.
It's a team game, see, and as long as I don't care if I get any sacks, because that doesn't matter because we won the game, and that's what's important to me, Lawrence Taylor, a team player. I'm going to go get some pussy now. All right, bye. So,
oh Christ,
yeah, jumping. He says there's no publicist back then. I don't know what happened with that. Just gone. By the time this comes around, the 87, his drinking is having negative impacts on everything. His behavior is atrocious.
Sure.
Everybody thinks he's a nutcase and an asshole. Mm-hmm. He gets kicked out of places. This is when he starts his thing of a lot of times over the course of his life, he makes a fool of himself publicly a lot. He's a very Joey Barton in that way. He's constantly making a public fool out of himself. He's he'll go to strip clubs and get on stage and sing and shit and act like an asshole because he's all drunk till they throw him out. Christ. And he goes to karaoke places and causes a ruckus. And he's just He's an asshole.
How many times have you been to a strip club?
Not many, because I hate strip clubs. It's too weird for me.
Nowadays, I'm not a fan. But I used to go a lot. But you know what I did at the strip club? I went in the fucking corner and kept my head down. That's what you do. You don't fucking be
No, this guy gets on stage.
You don't want people seeing you in there.
And he's the most famous fucking guy. They all know who he is.
It's supposed to be shameful, for Christ's sake.
Not at all. He's just having a good time. Having a good time.
The guy that wants to be seen there is a piece of shit. That's what it is.
Well, through all this, he gets in fights with like teammates and people around the team. He broke some windows with bare hands and cut himself up and had to miss a competition.
That guy.
He's got drunk out in public and singing in strip clubs, getting tossed out, getting thrown in the drunk tank by the cops.
Good Christ.
Interviews, shit-faced. He'll do drunken interviews, which would really kind of make sense a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's been sent home early. He's just a constant problem at this point.
I pray for those, though. The drunk interview is maybe the best interview.
Oh, it's the best.
The one from Monday Night Football, the Jets quarterback,
Joe
Big
Namath.
Nose. Yeah, Joe Namath. That fucking I want to kiss you right now interview is so fucking
People are
great.
real when they're drunk.
It's so great.
Especially the level where they're not so drunk they're belligerent, but they're drunk enough to where they're just super honest.
Right.
It's just truth serum. It's that drunk.
Yeah.
I ever tell you you're really handsome?
Yeah.
Because you are.
The team is...
All right, sure.
Yes, you are.
You know what I mean? You're getting people like that.
The team is struggling right now. I don't... And then he just, I want to kiss you. And then they cut because he goes, yeah! And he like fucking screams.
It's crazy.
Just being a party boy. That's the interview I love.
Joe's drunk. Cut away. Camera three. Camera three.
Pan to the bench. Pan to the bench.
Something. Locker room. Let's do this. So one of his coaches said of him, quote, "They tried everything with Nykanen. They made him take pills that would make him violently ill, violently nauseous when he would take a drink. For every athlete that's a wild man, you've got to find a balance that doesn't destroy what makes them great, but at the same token, try to keep them from destroying themselves. And sometimes you find there's no way."
Right.
And that's the truth, too. We have seen a lot of times when these athletes, they completely get off of whatever they were doing, it's almost like a lion that's been defanged.
Yeah.
Like they're just not the same anymore.
Right.
They need to live on the fucking edge of everything or else they can't cope. They can't play unless they're fucking themselves up off the field because they can't be that. They can't think while they play is what it is. They need to have a clear mind and just be out there reacting to things, I feel like, a lot of times. So this is a common thing that we've run into here. They don't want to ruin the guy and not – because you got a guy, he's got to be fearless.
Yeah.
You can't tell him, hey,
especially
look,
in that sport.
And you're telling him alcohol, hey, look, you're really hurting your body, and you got to take it easy. You can't tell a guy that in that sport. He's like, I'm fucking invincible. Did you see me fly 500 feet after coming off 60 miles an hour?
I'm still talking to you.
What, do you think this booze is going to hurt me? I landed on 15 bloody children. Do you know that? I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
On legitimately 3-inch wide pieces of shorn down wood.
And I'll do it.
So thin. I landed on that shit.
I hope they were using plastic back then.
Well, it's probably a composite. It's not plastic.
Plastic and wood composite?
No. I'm saying like
some sort of polymer.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like a fiberglass or some shit.
Something like that.
It's not necessarily plastic.
I'm like wood and plastic together. How do you mix those? No,
but I'm saying something so thin and just so narrow.
Yeah.
Just enough to get my fucking foot on it. And I flew on those goddamn things.
500 feet.
You think a few shots is going to hurt me? Fuck
500
you.
feet. Yeah. You know how long 500 feet is? Goddamn it. Fucking far. You know how big a football field is?
1.5 of those, almost 2.
Yeah, a couple of those. That's far. Yeah, that's super fucking far.
You know that left-hand turn lane in the street? That's 500 feet.
That's 500 feet.
Go jump on that shit.
All the way off of that. Now do it from up top in a big hill and fly 60 miles an hour out to do it. 1988 is the Winter Olympics in Calgary.
Yeah.
Back home, up here in Canada.
Yeah.
Home of snowy things. This is good. You would think you would feel it's white and snowy. This is perfect. I'm very at home here. This was the first year. This is so much fun. This was Jamaica in the bobsled team. This is Cool Runnings, man. This is the one.
Awesome.
This is it. Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
Right.
Here it is here.
Sanka with his egg.
That's right, man. They competed in the Winter Games for the first time at the 88 Olympics.
Right.
Just bobsledding. That's it. It's the only one. They're like, let's pool our resources and get one sport fucking right here. They had a 2-man and 4-man events and didn't medal, of course, because they're from fucking Jamaica and they don't know how to bobsled. But they were
stoned and missed their time.
It's true. They were all like Army guys from Jamaica's
Were they
Defense
really?
Force, all those guys. Yeah, they were all those kind of guys here, which is interesting.
I thought
right?
it was a giant
No. I don't think John Candy was their coach either.
Right. And a little nerd that was supposed to be like a lawyer or something.
Yeah, no. They came from the Jamaica Defense Force.
Jesus.
So, yeah, that
there was
sounds
more
tough.
pride and power in those two.
That sounds tough, doesn't it? I don't want to mess with the Jamaica Defense Force. I picture a bunch of very stoned Rastafarians
a bunch
beating
of
the shit
bad
out of me.
motherfuckers that you don't want to fuck with.
Killing
Isn't that what
me.
he said?
Something like
remember.
that, yeah. I don't think he said fuckers, though, because that's a PG.
No, I think you're right. I see a bad motherfucker. I think he said I'm a bad motherfucker.
I'm
pretty
know
sure
if
he
they said
did.
that. That has to
I
be
see
a
pride.
That was for children.
I see power.
Oh, man. So,
that is, I see a bad motherfucker that take no shit off of nobody. That's what he said.
oh, that's right.
the quote.
Yeah. Well, maybe they allowed
It must
one.
be,
Might be
rated
PG-13.
R.
PG-13, maybe. You're allowed one fuck.
Maybe, yeah.
The two-man event here, they finished 30th overall, the Jamaicans.
Yeah.
And then they had the four-man team. They crashed multiple times during it, but they did finish last overall.
Terrific.
And that's inspired a movie. That was a comedy somehow. Should have been a very sad
the most
story.
depressing fucking
Very
event.
sad. We did it, our whole country. We tried, we trained, we did all this, and we did horribly.
We shit the bed.
Absolutely terribly. God damn it, we were the worst fucking people out there.
I'll bet it didn't really crash, did it? It just came in last.
Just last, and they said we crashed a couple times.
Right.
But Matti becomes the first ski jumper to score 3 gold medals in a single Olympic competition. He won the normal hill by 17 points, the large hill by 16.5 points.
Wow.
Which, remember, 17.5 is a record, and led the Finland team to a gold in the team event also. So he is crushing it right now. It's like he took a window off. He was fucking up. He's like, got to get serious for the Olympics, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Sweet Pete.
It's crazy though, man. That's wild. He became the first person to ever take gold medals on both hills competitions, which was another record he made for himself.
Awesome.
He has so many. On the large hill, this is 23% of Matti's flight was beyond the K point, recorded in the parallel style era. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good.
Sounds like he's jumping further than the fucking
out
end.
past, I guess, the trajectory of it. I don't know if that has to do with it.
Sounds impressive is what it sounds
like.
I
feel like I needed to really pay attention to math class to figure out what that is.
It sounds like, though, nobody else is doing that.
No one else is doing that.
Past the K point.
No.
23%?
23% of his flight was beyond the K point.
Wow.
So, but if the K point's where you land, how do you get 20? I am so confused.
23% of his flight. So almost a quarter of his flight is past that shit.
Oh, so he flew. Okay, I get what you're saying.
He flew to that shit,
He
and that
flew
was
to
only
that, and then went
75% of his flight. Yeah,
I get you.
That's
okay.
fucking
I don't know
bananas.
why that was. In my mind, I was picturing it like some sort of measure of trajectory of height, as opposed to like I was doing.
It's just where he's supposed to be.
Okay, I was doing geometry and all sorts of shit in my head right there.
It's just
trigonometry.
It's save it for me. The trailer trash will figure out
That's
shit
fine.
like this.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Okay, we got it. So he wins 3 golds in Calgary.
Okay.
Setting records, doing it. This guy's a fucking stud right now. That year, he is voted Finland's Sportsman of the Year.
Wow.
Again, he is the only Finn. He's featured on a postage stamp.
What?
He's the only Finn featured on a postage stamp while he's still alive, apart from former presidents.
A guy that said pussy is always on my mind.
Postage stamp.
Wow.
That's how just much they need athletes over there. Imagine if we sent them just not even LeBron James.
Right.
If we sent him a middling NBA player, he'd be president over there.
Send him Birdman.
He'd be president.
Send him Marcus Camby.
Emperor now. Marcus Camby now at
Today.
48 years old. Doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. We do that.
Send him Michael Olowokandi.
Fine.
And he's a fucking...
After his knee injuries. And he's still the president of Finland. He's King Olowokandi.
Holy Christ.
Of Finland. So the postage stamp, that's how important ski jumping is, too, in this country, is that they put a fucking postage stamp out of a ski
pussy's always
jumper.
on my mind. Make a stamp.
Make
Print
a stamp
it.
about me. No, that is not the only country that made a stamp featuring him in 1988.
Oh, my God.
Can you guess the other country that made a stamp of him in 1988? I will
The
give
Netherlands.
you for the rest of this show, and you will never guess it, ever in a million years.
I haven't got a clue.
North Korea.
What?
North Korea. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea released a postage stamp
of course they
of
did.
Matti in 1988. What the fuck? Okay.
Kim Jong-un.
Whoa, back this up.
Who was the guy
this
then?
Was Un.
Was
yeah. Because, now this was Il.
Right. He was impressed with the pussy's always on my mind. He was.
Yeah, they liked
sure.
he was a big womanizer.
He was like,
yo,
me too, bro. Samesies.
What? They don't do that in Korea either.
Yeah.
They don't make postage stamps of foreigners, like white guys from Europe.
Unless they say pussy's always on my mind.
That's how impressed they were with his ability.
Wow.
That they looked at him as like a god. Like he wasn't even a human. He was a god that you put on a postage stamp.
That's a good point, too, because it's not anybody but that dictator's face.
He's the god.
Right. It's him. Everything's him.
He's the
Supreme
deity
leader.
Everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Supreme leader and pussy's always on my mind.
And pussy's always on my mind. They're like, we want you people to know two things. Everything's for the state, the collective. We all fight for each other. This is the People's Republic. It's communist. It's all what we say. And keep pussy on your mind always. Like, this guy embodied excellence in both athletics and pussy hunting for these people, where they were like, yes.
What the fuck?
Postage stamps. North Korean postage stamp.
That's hysterical.
We're never going to cover
and
another
you're
athlete.
right. I never would have guessed that.
No! Who the fuck would guess North Korea? I didn't even know they had mail in North Korea. Never mind postage stamps with Finnish long ski jumpers on it. Who would have thought that?
Wow.
I would think Norway, because they gave him an award.
Right.
Maybe Norway.
That's where I was going when I said Netherlands.
Norway. Right. Somewhere like, nope, Canada even. Nope. North Korea. On the stamp, it shows him in the air in skis.
Yeah.
It's a fucking action shot.
With a little thought bubble and a pussy in it.
Yeah, pussy on it. There you go. I don't know what they're thinking.
About pussy.
About pussy. What? It's so weird, dude. It's so weird. We've never covered it.
Oh my god!
This is
so
a crime
amazing.
in sports first, by the way. A North Korean postage stamp.
And a record amount of pussy in this
record
show.
Avalanche of pussy and that's
we don't say this that much.
No, we never say pussy ever. That's the thing. We on purpose don't say it because we have a lot of female listeners that tend to not like it. It's a harsh word. But this is like he said that. This is amazing. What
I can't get over it.
A North Korean postage stamp over his.
To a fucking.
But let's jump first, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'll talk about that afterwards. Like literally, I got plenty to talk about when it comes to that, but I got to jump first.
Listen.
He has an in their own words that has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
Let's have a non sequitur in their own words here. In their own words.
I hope it's as much gold.
Oh, it's in their own words. Quote, I am a Russian. Although I'm not wearing red, I'm a communist. But I'm only acting. Truthfully, I'm just a man who walks and talks on the phone. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, my God.
I'm more confused about that than the Korean postage stamp.
Yeah.
What happened?
Some Finnish person is going to hear that and then translate it into their own tongue and be like, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Why does your language not make sense then?
Oh, God. Anything I had to translate, it's easier. You have to translate it like 3 times because you translate it from Finnish to English, and then it makes no sense whatsoever. The words are all rearranged.
That's probably the
They
equivalent.
use weird words.
That's probably the American equivalent
so
of I put my pants on one leg at a time. You know what I mean?
I guess.
But why
I'm just
put
a
that
man
on
who walks and talks on the phone. That's not an old saying. They didn't have phones 30 years before that, probably in Finland. So
it's bizarre.
I don't know what the hell happened, and he's a Russian. He's not wearing red, but he is a communist. But he's only acting. So, which is it? Are you Russian? Or are you communist? Or are you not?
Or is he just acting to not be communist?
I think he's acting to be a communist. Like he's pretending he's a communist. I'm a communist, but I'm only acting. I don't know what any of this is.
Listen,
but
you guys, I love talking on the phone.
Luckily enough. Either way, his wife is sick of all this shit and divorces him this year. Old Tina divorces him with her 2 eyes. So he's got a divorce. I don't know why that's funny, but it is. I'm going to kill Jimmy right now. He's going to have a stroke. I know it.
It was just a surprise. That's
all. So stupid.
It's always the ones that surprise me that make me laugh the hardest. That one locked me up. My chest.
I saw that. I was like, oh no, he's going down, guys. We're going to do the rest of the show solo, I think.
I just vapor locked. I couldn't get air in or out.
Oh, man.
Tina.
Tina. So 1989, got to get married again.
Yeah.
When things are going bad and
yeah.
shit starts to crumble and you're on North Korean postage stamps, what's the crime and sports rule? You got to get married.
Fuck yeah.
He marries Pia Heinonen.
Pia.
So there's 4 N's in that last name, by the way. Heinonen. Hynninen. Oh,
Jesus.
wow, too many Pia.
Yeah.
But at least there's only one I.
Yeah.
It's not Pia, so that's good.
Pia's a great name, by the way.
Pia's not a bad name.
Like Pia Zadora?
It's a cute name. Yeah, Pia Zadora. Yeah. They have one daughter together.
Okay.
They're only married till 91, too. This
Wow.
is short-lived. He has 5 wives total.
Jesus.
Man. He's a fucking mess. Now 1989, 1990... just a complete, his alcohol abuse has gotten out of control.
Of course.
He's a complete alcoholic. He's just taken everything right in the shitter. Everything now, he's got injuries too. He's getting older. He's got injuries. I mean, he's only 26 years old, by the way.
Wow.
This is 1990. He's 26, 27
That's
years
crazy.
old at this point. And his injuries, which I can imagine injuries from this, the
Yeah.
impact on your joints,
Your
soft
knees
snow or
are
not.
going to be fucked.
You're going to hit, you're going to twist a little bit, you're going to hit
soft snow or
problems.
not, fuck that. You've
No,
got all
you're
these
hitting
guys
hard.
jumping down there too.
Yeah.
It's not just one dude
No,
and then it's over. You know what I mean? There's
it's
50,
flattening it
60
out.
guys
Yeah,
probably.
tons.
That shit, you're landing on ice.
Absolutely. So between that and the complete alcohol abuse, he's going downhill now in his long ski jumping. He went from 2 years ago, 88 being 3 gold medals, best in the world, everybody in awe of him, to a year and a half, 2 years later. He's divorced, remarried, and a fucking alcoholic shell of his former self. But he always has that postage stamp to look at.
Shit,
Two of them, as a matter of
Surviving
fact.
on like fish pills and fucking whatever that shit is the old people take for osteoporosis. That's the shit he's surviving on.
That's
now.
what he needs. And this is not a sport. If you're not 100% in, this is not a sport you can half-ass it through because, you'll fucking die.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I looked up all these ski accidents. There are so many.
Oh, I'm sure.
We could have talked, if he didn't do so much crazy criminal shit coming up here, we could have talked about ski accidents for 2 hours. Horrific, long. I've seen pictures of these people in a twisted heap.
Yeah.
Just one leg. If your body looks like a swastika, shit has gone wrong. It's gone wrong.
We're
It's
you're not kidding. The way it looks like
bad.
the cartoons are not far off when they hit the ground and then they roll into this giant snowball.
Exactly what
and they got a
happens.
foot coming out of the snowball by their face. That's not far off from what happens.
That's the shit here. So
glucosamine. That was the shit I was
there
trying
you
to think
go.
of.
Glucosamine. Glucosamine. That's what you give dogs too with bad hips.
Yeah. That's the stuff.
Glucosamine.
He should be taking a shitload of it.
I'm sure he is by now. And fish oil. It's probably all they have in Finland. They probably just drink that shit anyway.
Probably
sorry,
just
Finland.
eat the fish scales.
Yes, all that herring he pulled out of that pond. That time.
That's 27 pounds of fish oil.
27-pound herring he's got there. He's been using it for oil this whole time. 1991. He's 28 years old, and he retires from ski jumping. He finished, this was after finishing in 50th place at the 91 World Championships.
Ouch.
He was, that
Maybe
was it.
should have thought about something other than pussy.
That might have been it, but let's jump now. But he wasn't a guy he knew what he was doing. He was the best, and he was like, I can think about pussy, and I'll just jump quick, and then I'll think about pussy.
Right.
Like, he was so great. He didn't have to work hard.
That's crazy.
And he worked hard in the beginning, but as it went through, he was so great.
Got lazy.
He got lazy because it happens when people are great. We see it with comedians all the time. They're so great they get lazy because it's their crowd and they do it.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get to that point someday.
I'd
love to be lazy and still make a living.
I'd love to walk up there.
Phenomenal.
Norm Macdonald says it all the time that famous comedians can go out and just say dumb jokes that everybody's always heard, and it kills. Because they just want to hear it from a famous person.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd love to be famous and go tell knock-knock jokes.
This guy could go around, if he was a comic right now, he could go around and sell out improvs for the next. He could be in every shithole improv in this goddamn country.
Go out with one of his stamps on his fucking forehead and just say,
no problem.
I love pussy.
I'm going to the Chuckle Hut. Sign me up.
Kill all night.
Crushing. So he retires after that. This is just so much shit. It's all outside things. It's all him destroying himself. His total, he won 19 medals at the Olympics and World Championships from 82 to 90. So he has 19 medals.
In 8 years.
Which is pretty goddamn amazing here.
And they only do that every 4 years.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, he did there was the World Championships.
And all that
year.
shit too. Yeah,
so that counts. It's Olympics and World Championships here. He basically he's finished skiing now, but he just gets crazy now. Now he has time to do other shit because he's ADHD.
Yeah.
Now he's not skiing all the time, so now he needs to find some other shit to do and to get into. And he
Did you just say he's finished?
He's finished. That deserves a nut kick, but I'll leave it count for now.
I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I was
like,
not doing
did
it.
he just pun?
No, I did not pun. Oh, God damn it. Thank you for noticing. So his life turns into a fucking disaster. We have it in their own words on this here, on the changing life here. I love this guy's quotes. They're great. In their own words, quote, I changed from a well-known system into a phase of insecurity. For all my life, I had been doing something else, and now that did not matter any longer. The world away from ski jumps was absolutely different from the one I knew so far. That's the most sane thing he says ever in this whole thing.
So my life changed for the worse.
Oh, by the way, that's a divorce year for him.
Oh,
year.
no.
91's a divorce year. It's like baseball. It's a strike year, right? 94, it's a divorce year for him.
Right there, right?
92, he's done with skiing. Okay, he's done. He's no more long skiing. He's retired. He's got to find something to do with himself. What do you do with yourself if you're a famous Finn on postage stamps throughout the Asian peninsula?
I have no fucking idea.
You release a pop album, of course. Of course, you start singing and dancing and release fucking albums, Jimmy.
Nobody's ever done this.
Of course you've done. Well, yeah, they have. We've
pop albums, though?
No,
we got rappers.
We've had rappers. We have
I think they're hard asses.
Oh, no, this is pop. He's singing Scandinavian fucking pop.
Oh boy,
music. It's like Ace of Base. I assume
it's Matti, bitch.
Yeah, I saw the sign. He's like, shit. Why didn't I think of that first? I think they're Swedish, but that's fine either way.
Close enough.
So yeah, he's approached by a group of businessmen who wanted to make him into a recording artist. So yeah, they have him make a fucking album.
God,
new rule, new crime and sports rule, new CIS rule. Do not make a fucking album.
Ever.
Of any kind.
Ever.
Whether it's pop or hip-hop or anything. If you are an athlete, don't make an album.
Looking at you, Shaquille O'Neal.
Thank you. That's the best case scenario. That's the best it could work. Shaq Fu is the best possible outcome. Is that what you want for yourself?
And Fushnikins. It was only tolerable because of them, not you, Shaq.
Terrible.
Stop it.
Yes, this is what's happening here. He makes his first album, which is called...
Oh boy, 99 left balloons. Moving on.
Yallayetsteinyo.
Oh boy.
YLLA with an umlaut, TYSTENYO umlaut over the O. No fucking idea, but it translates into Night of Surprises, which sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
That sounds like there's going to be dicks coming at you where you did not want them at all. That sounds terrifying. Night of Surprise. Is that a ball sack? Get away. That sounds frightening. Oh my God! That's released in 92. It has the song Samanuaha, which means the same tape. And I have lyrics to the same tape.
Fuck!
Would you like to get translated Finnish lyrics from a skiing star turned pop singer?
I'm terrified.
Okay, they make no sense.
Yeah.
But let's do this. You have to imagine a pumping Scandinavian pop beat
You've
behind
heard it.
I've heard all of this shit from 1992. Okay?
Fantastic.
So 1992 Scandinavian pop music in the background. And the lyrics are, they're not that funny, but you need to know what this guy's singing. Others always know better what you do. Where are you coming from and where you meet? You were there or here. They know best. And if you have nothing, they know it too. Best to give them something to talk about. He's Bonnie Raitt over here. Is that who sang that?
Let's give them something to talk about.
The best thing to give them something frustrating. The best thing to give them something to talk about. Unless they have anything to do with you. No secret stories are left of them, and they sound more quickly. Their sound spreads. They need water than the dry time is in the mill? The fuck does that mean? They grind the same tape. It's endless. Best to give them something to talk about. I feel like he's talking about the press talking shit about him.
They are.
I feel like this is like an Eminem song, but shitty.
Yeah, but awful.
But
with
terrible.
the worst lyrics. They make you have to picture what he's...
This is without me. But fucking... and it feels so empty without skis.
He better be dyeing a streak of gray in his hair at minimum for this shit.
So that's one of them. This sells 25,000 copies in Finland.
Wow.
Which proportionate to the population.
That's amazing.
It's equivalent to selling 300,000 in Britain, which is platinum.
Wow.
He went fucking platinum, this guy. In Finland.
My
selling
Christ.
25,000 copies. So basically, in Finland, we'd be platinum by like 5 in the morning when we release an episode.
Wow.
4 in the morning, we'd be platinum over there. Doesn't take much.
Wow.
So I don't know why we're doing this episode, because there's no Finnish people to attract to listen to us. I think it's just because it's funny.
We've got one. We've got Kat Ojala.
But no one else is going to like this. But it doesn't matter, because they'll like it in America because it's funny. This is a mess.
Else just buy into pussy being on his mind.
This is a mess, man. So he's selling a platinum album that's clearly terrible. It's clearly just like a press complaint.
Right.
There's plans for big international endorsement deals with this too.
Yeah.
But they're scrapped because he has a complete inability to speak any language but Finnish, and had no other place to go. So now he's this guy who's got immense popularity, but in such a small pond it doesn't matter because there's nobody there.
That was in 92?
This was 92.
He essentially coined the term fake news.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's what he was singing about.
He's like, it's all fake news.
Yeah, it was like, there's a Tupac song I think he was trying to relate that to, I really believe. Is what he was doing. He says at this point, just a random quote. Every once in a while I like to throw a random quote in. One of these ones that makes no sense.
Just for
no reason. Go anywhere.
Matti
says, quote, I color my hair once every 2 months, and the world changes, and I change along with it.
What?
Okay. The world changes, so does his hair every 2 months when he colors it.
Like exotic colors or just like brown?
No, it's blonde.
He colors
he's got like Ric Flair color.
Oh,
he is blonde, white, blonde, Finland.
Platinum blonde.
Exactly what you'd picture a Finnish man looking like. Exactly. 93, things went so well with the first one, makes a second album.
God,
why not?
damn it.
He's a fucking pop star now.
Yeah, he is.
4 years ago, he was an Olympic champion. Now he's got 2 albums out. This is some Shaq 95 shit right here.
Wow.
Shaq should have looked at his example a couple of years later and not done what he did. Second album is called Samurai. Samurai.
That's some Shaq stuff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He should have paid attention.
Yeah.
New Crime and Sports rule, do not make 2 albums, ever. Okay?
In the event that you miss rule, what was it, rule 7? I don't remember.
Something.
In the event that you miss the rule about the album,
make 2.
Definitely don't do 2.
Don't make 2.
Right.
Don't make 1, but if you ignore that, fucking pay attention to this one, because you're already, behind.
Wow.
This song on this album, the Samurai, is called Nykanen Voti Kovini.
That sounds like a North Korean word.
Okay. Yeah, Nykanen seems like an oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay? I really did this.
People like to slow down the podcast sometimes.
Yeah, slow that down. Or speed it up. I don't care. It'll be the same thing. Just make me sound like a fucking moron.
Slow that
whatever
shit
speed
down.
you want. So, Nykanen, I think is just like silly.
Yeah.
Just like that doesn't mean anything,
Right.
I think. That's just like saying like, yeah, woo. I think it's like woo.
Nykanen.
Okay? And Vauti Kovini means the pace is getting stronger.
Oh.
Okay, that's the name of this song. The pace is getting stronger.
Okay.
I have lyrics if you're interested in them.
The first song was called Yakuni?
Yeah, YY is the first, is a word.
2 Y's.
That's a word. Okay.
What?
YY, comma, KAA, comma, KOO, comma, NEE, dash, VAUHTI, space, KOVENEE.
That's
the
like,
fucking song.
Sounds like fucking Navajo.
That's what I mean.
Bananas.
Yes, it does sound like some Navajo shit here. Let's see what it says here. None of it makes any sense to me. Listen to what the village was doing before I got to Bimar, wherever the fuck that is. I was betrayed with my favorite wheelers. Every time I started, you've stopped. Yakakuni, cat walks, stairs along the cat sky, stairs like walking upstairs.
Right.
VII, moon, the word moon.
Yeah.
C, yeah. Believe me, in Bamar, I'm going to take a look at the world. It will be left in the throat when the church is thrown.
Whoa. That sounds like some fucking... He had some actual foreshadowing there.
Wow. When I pick up the swing to the bar, Tandem, what the fuck, man? I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Doesn't make any sense.
This makes no sense. This album does not do as well.
Really?
Probably because it makes no goddamn sense. People are like, Yee Kunini, fuck you, dude.
This is his "We Didn't Start the Fire."
That's what it was, yeah. Except no one tried to memorize it. They're just like, we don't care. We don't give a shit about this fucking idiot. We're not memorizing this at all. So 1994 comes around.
Yeah.
Because the second album flopped, he's got financial problems coming out his ass right now. Just not doing well.
Right.
Finland's an expensive country, actually.
I'm sure it is.
He works briefly for a premium rate phone line dispensing celebrity relationship advice.
Oh, my God.
Basically.
Meanwhile, this is a guy that's been divorced twice right now?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's got celebrity
People just want to talk to him.
Right.
Like, this article, it's an English article, said that this is like the equivalent of calling up the, whatever housewives of whatever the fuck and getting a relationship from somebody. An anti-fluff piece comes out about him at this point.
Really?
94.
Is this the first time?
Oh, it's so harsh, dude.
Is this the first one we've heard of?
There's been just like, this guy's a piece of shit before.
Has there?
But this one is really pointed.
Okay.
They're just like, what an asshole.
Okay.
He's taking everything. He's thrown it away. He's turned into a shitbag.
I love
He's
it.
a bum.
Yeah.
We all hate him. That's what it is here. An anti-fluff piece comes out, and it says, this is how it starts out, okay? Quote, he moves through the icy streets without purpose, a lost soul haunted by the cheers he hears from a distance, a wrenching fall into oblivion since then. That's how the article starts.
That's a guy that bought Samurai.
That fucking guy, yeah, he was pissed. Uni Cooney dickhead.
Motherfucker robbed me for $12.
What a dick, man. Yeah, 94, they were still having to buy CDs and tapes and shit. It's bad stuff. So, yeah.
Columbia House is still hunting me down for that.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. So that's things have changed from he's the most brilliant, he's just a genius, to walking through the icy streets without a purpose, a lost soul, haunted by the cheers. Retching fall. Oof, that's rough, man.
That's a tough couple of words.
Yeah, a Finnish ski person that's kind of around the Finnish ski team says, quote, I'd give you your name, but it wouldn't matter. His first name is Juba.
Okay.
I never heard of this person. Right. Quote, there is no sympathy for him anymore because he has made his life so bad. He has lost everything.
Wow.
They're like, what a piece of shit, basically. Fuck him. He's a complete piece of shit. 1995, whose idea was this? Some people come to him and form a political party around him to run for parliament.
What?
Yeah. This guy.
What the fuck?
Let's run this guy. He's clearly would be good at being in charge of things and taking, making sure other people's lives happen properly. So 95, there is two different versions of what happened here. Okay. I've read one version that says he narrowly lost, and then I have another version that says he won but quit after 1.5 sessions of Parliament.
Really?
Like, he went to the first one, went through the second one, halfway through, left, never came back. It was like, this is fucking boring, and there's no booze here. I am leaving. I don't see pussy anywhere.
And all this pussy is ugly.
It's all covered up, and none of it's drunk. So this is not going to work well here. That's what I feel like he was doing. I don't need this Parliament
all of it's
shit.
Covered up, and none of it's drunk.
It's all covered and sober. This doesn't interest me. I don't know. Just not interested in covered and sober.
I love any description of anything that starts with all of and none of.
All of it, none of. Yeah, those are always good.
It all does this, and none of it does this.
Yeah, that's always bad. That's always
all
bad.
of it's covered up, and none of it's drunk.
So I'll bring all my shoes and all my glasses just so I have them. It's that type of thing.
This sober covered up pussy. Yeah. This is terrible.
This is awful. 1996.
I want that account to be the truth one.
That would be.
I don't want the one that he narrowly lost.
No, I think I've read that one more, that he quit after.
Okay, good. I want that one to be true.
I hope that one's true too. Now 96, things are going terribly. Obviously, he's just a disaster of a person. They're not even. People aren't even saying how great he is anymore. What do you do, Jimmy?
You get married?
You get remarried, obviously. Things are going bad. It's a crime and sports rule. He's going to break them all, guys. Break them all.
Time to get married.
He is going to marry Sari Paanala, 2 A's, Paanala. Four A's in a 7-letter word. No.
She got 3 letters other than an A?
Yeah, that's not enough. You need more consonants at least in there. During this one, though, We think that name sucks, Pa-Nala.
Yeah.
We might think it's not that great, but Matti must have loved it because he changed his fucking name.
What?
He changed his name to Pa-Nala after he marries this woman. So,
Matti Pa-Nala.
Pa-Nala, nah.
Right.
Ye no, Nico, fuckwad. So, from 1996 to 1998, that's not even his fucking name. His name is Matti Pa-Nala now. That's how we have to cover him for 2 years.
That sounds much more pop-oriented, though.
That would be better. Matti Pa-Nala. Yeah, he could like sing it out and shit. I'm sure that's not how you pronounce it at all. But so he changes his name to that like a fucking maniac. 1998 comes around, divorces, takes his old name back, so that didn't last long at all. By now, he's got 3 divorces.
Yeah.
You know how that works here. So he's got 3 divorces, athletic career over, relationship advice thing didn't go very far. He's got a failed pop career that came and went. So now what do you do?
Jesus.
Well, he doesn't get married right away again.
Drugs.
Well, no, he says, I need to make money. Might as well be a stripper.
Holy shit.
I guess I'm a stripper now.
He's 30, though.
He's 35.
Oh, my God.
Stripping, but he's famous.
Okay.
So it's
that'll
different.
draw people in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
If
I know where you're going. You're going to offend everybody. Don't do it.
I'm not.
Don't pick a 45-year-old woman that you think might be still. Don't do it.
No, I was going with the dude.
Okay.
I was just thinking if Corey Feldman started stripping, people would show up.
They'd watch
people
for a
would
minute.
show up.
They'd be like, that's about what I expected, and they leave. After that.
That's a Goonies tick? That's weird.
Yeah, so unbelievable.
Pick a 45.
I thought you were going to go there.
No. I was
do it,
going
Jimmy.
with Corey Feldman for sure.
Okay,
From
I was
the
trying
start,
to
I swear.
keep our listenership together there. I had to jump on it every once in a while. So, so now he's doing a striptease act in a restaurant that has strippers.
Yeah.
It's like a weird strip club restaurant type deal. You got to have this guy's balls in your fucking in your soup.
Best place ever.
He leaps off the roof and lands his balls in your soup from 500 meters away. That's what he does. So,
Jesus.
He claims that he retained his dignity by never appearing fully naked. He said, I never showed my dick.
Okay.
I just gyrated around.
That retains dignity?
That retained his dignity. Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Sir, you are on a postage stamp in 2 different countries. Dignity and this shit don't belong in the same sentence.
You were on 2 postage stamps. Now you've got a thong on.
Yes.
No dignity.
No dignity
None.
for you.
You've thrown it away.
Terrible, man. So at this point, later on, he's got more pop in his system. Don't worry.
God.
But so at this point, he's done. He's been stripping.
Yeah.
He's been stripping. He's going all the way down the path. And here's this to me is the lowest you can sink.
But he's got all his dignity, James.
He's got his dignity, Jimmy. His dick never came out in a restaurant, so that's good for. While he was working, he did it just for shits and giggles on stage, just dicking around normally. But when he's actually getting paid, he keeps it in his pants here. This is the part here that this is sad here when he's got so much debt. This is as low as you can go. He sells his gold medals. This is the saddest thing ever. No. He eventually gets them back, and we'll find out how. But he sells his gold medals and starts working for his phone sex line also, which is odd.
Now dignity's out the window.
Now there's no dignity. And he's like, it's in my hand. It's hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
I'm still thinking about pussy.
I don't know what the Finnish accent is. That's why we gave him like a random half Spanish part.
Horribly disgusting.
I don't know what it is here. But while he's doing this, he also finishes up his 3rd divorce, because you got to do that.
Yeah.
He says about this, we have a quote here. He says, quote, I am a marriage advisor these days. If things are going well, then call me. I can fuck it up in 7 seconds. So he acknowledges that he's a disaster in marriage, at least.
That's great. That's honesty.
Yeah. Now, over the last couple years during this whole thing, some of these are hard to find because it's Finland and the records are very difficult.
I'm sure.
During this time, I don't know the exact dates, but he fell asleep at the wheel and drove off a bridge at one point.
What?
He fell asleep at the wheel, drove off a bridge into a lake.
Oh, my God.
He worked at the phone line. He got engaged during this time to a 17-year-old Estonian girl and then called it off a week later. So he got publicly engaged to a 17-year-old girl from Estonia and then said, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Now we have a quote here from a Helsinki Times reporter with a name I don't even want to get into. This person says, I don't even know if it's a man or a woman, he or she. They say, quote, after that, we didn't hear about his sports history anymore. In fact, people who didn't grow up when he was winning all his medals only really think about him as someone who was in the tabloid newspapers. It was quite funny at first. Now it's just sad. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. We're like, oh, that's cute. And then it's like, oh, no, it's not anymore. This is sad. He has sort of an explanation on it here. Okay. He says, in their own words, quote, there are two types of people. Some take drugs, some do sports, some rush around until they burn out, and some just sleep. That sounds like four types of people, first of all. I'm one of those people who sleeps, does sports, makes love, and beats themselves up, and sometimes might hit another person in the process. That's his quote. Okay.
So that's just everybody, by the way.
He just described there are some people in the world, and they're everybody. Yeah. And here they're all different types.
There's some people.
And I'm one of them. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback on that one, Mr. fucking Matti. 1999, he is meeting with sausage manufacturers to try to get a sponsorship deal. He's going to try to do sausage commercials. A company called Tapola, Tapola. Okay. Sure, it's not pronounced that way, but that's how we're pronouncing it now.
When I stripped, I never showed my sausage.
I never showed my sausage, but I can. If you want the best sausage in Finland, it's not in my pants. No. It's right here in this package. Tapola, fine sausages. Hey, Tapola, we'll take a fucking sponsorship. Yeah. Throw one our way. Yeah. Talk about your sausage all goddamn day long. So, while he's meeting with these people to
no dignity, by the way. Zero dignity.
Not intact now. No. He's now got his...
He's trying to shill sausage.
He sold his medals, done phone sex, and he's trying to shill sausage. This is not a dignified way to end your life and career here. What he does do, though, is while he's trying to get a sausage sponsorship, he does meet Mervi, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, Mervi Tapola, who is a sausage millionaire. Yeah. She is
it's a girl.
Yeah, she's a sausage.
Oh, no. Queen.
What's it called when you're the heir to the sausage fortune? Okay. She is a sausage.
She's taken a lot of sausage.
She's a sausage princess, which is doesn't sound like it is.
She's
what it is.
Had a lot of sausage.
This girl knows sausage. Let me tell you something right now. This fucking broad knows sausage.
Fucking Mervy knows sausage.
I've been with a lot of women, but this broad here, she knows her fucking sausage. Let me tell you something, guy. They fall in love. Yeah. As much love as he can here. They fall in love in 1999, which is... That's beautiful. Yeah. A retired ski jumper and a sausage heiress. Right. This is phenomenal. 99, they fall in love.
Tons of money.
It's Storybrooke. Yeah. But he gets his medals back.
Really?
This is how he gets his medals back.
She bought him back
she got
for
his
him.
fucking
Wow.
medals back. Try to give him some of that dignity back. She can't put the cock back in his pants, but she can put the medals back on his chest. You know what I mean? You do what you can do here. So that's...
Did they, just in time for like tabloid nicknames and such for Mervy and Pervy.
Mervy and Pervy. Yeah, that'd be perfect. That's the one. You know that was the lead right there. I'm telling you. So this is Storybook from 1999 all the way to 2000 when he assaults her for the first time.
Holy shit.
And notice I said first time. Yeah. There'll be more. And she gets a restraining order against him. So that's Storybook for about 9 months, and then it falls apart like that.
Hit her with like a chain of sausages?
Probably. Beat her with a bunch of sausages. So domestic violence, not funny, but sausage beating's kind of funny.
As long as it's like nunchuck sausages.
Yeah, just like a pop, pop, pop. It's so ridiculous we know it didn't happen, but it's kind of amusing. So he's got a restraining order. He assaults her in 2000. 2001, they get married. Because that's what you do. You marry guys who assault you. You have to take restraining orders out on. It's not like he has this was aberrant behavior. Right. This is kind of who he is. He's just, he even has a quote. Sometimes I hit people afterwards. Like he doesn't give a shit.
In the process of making love. You remember.
Yeah, remember that, right? Later that year, there is another charge of assault against him on her. Although she refused to give evidence against him. She called the cops, and he was arrested for assault, and when it went to trial, she refused to testify, and so they had to drop the charges.
Mervy Mayfield,
exactly. We have a definite Mervy Mayfield, except she eventually gets it, whereas Shayna Mayfield is still
Still not getting
wanting
it.
to defend him to us. Like, our minds are made up. We're not the guys you need to convince.
Right.
Try NASCAR. They're the ones that you might want to talk to.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Maybe you buy a house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jesus Christ, man. So 2002, he makes a comeback as a singer and releases a single called Eka Oten Eka N, which means maybe I did, maybe I did not.
Okay.
And it's maybe I did, maybe I did not drink is what he's getting at. It's also he lends his name to a brand of alcoholic cider with the same slogan as their advertisement.
He's
so he
a
made
hard cider drinker?
Yeah.
He made a fucking douche.
I don't know what it might be 42% alcohol over there for all we know.
Yeah.
But he made a song that's the slogan of the thing, and so now he's singing that. That's their advertisement slogan. Maybe I did, maybe I did not.
That's their commercial.
It's like maybe I drank it, maybe I didn't. Like,
I don't remember.
I don't remember because this shit is strong. It's 42% alcohol.
It may as well be apple pie flavored moonshine.
Absolutely. Would you like to hear the lyrics to the song, Jimmy?
Fuck yes.
Okay, let's see. Maybe I did, maybe I did not. So I rocked from the plane of the plane when returning from the trip back home. A moment and a while is real like a long jump to the unknown. Oh, he's using jump shit.
Oh, boy.
I know they're there to see me. The cameras are flashing. Where are the things that are nice there? Hello, Matti. Did you miss it?
He put his name in it.
Yeah, it's about him.
Wow.
Tell me, maybe I took it. Maybe I did not mind it. As long as you wake it. Towards the days, the better they carry to me, and peace is again to my mind. Maybe I took it, maybe I did not mind it. That's what he goes on from there, and it repeats.
Reminds me of Katy Perry.
It kind of does. I kissed a girl, and maybe I liked it.
What
maybe
was the
I didn't.
beginning of it? Say it again. The first lyrics were about
I
from
rocked
the
off
plane
the plane to the
plane.
plane? To the plane
like
to the
so
plane.
he's going from plane to plane.
I think that's what he's getting at.
I bounce around the world.
That's
I'm
what
a
he's
fly.
getting at.
I'm
From
a
the trip
playboy.
back
Right.
home. Yeah, and there's
Right.
people and cameras are flashing, and he's acting like you're doing nothing. You've
Right.
done nothing.
He's acting like he's a
You did a
rock
sausage
star.
commercial in the last 10 years. That's been your fucking
You're a
big
sausage
accomplishment.
commercial guy that sings a jingle for booze and beats your wife. Calm down, bro.
That's it
Calm
right
down.
there in a fucking nutshell. He's still performing in 2002. He's going around performing this in concert. We have a review from a journalist of his concert. Quote, I was at a concert of his in Tapiola in 2001 or 2002. He was well into his set, pumping up the crowd. It was a packed house of 400 or 500 people. The next song began, but he forgot to start singing. The fact that it was a shambles meant people loved it even more. That's part of the whole package.
Fuck yes.
So he's turned into just... He's such a train wreck.
You
You
love a
watched a
train
train
wreck.
wreck.
Yeah.
He's turned into Gary Busey like 15 years ago.
He's turned into what the fucking that I Love the 90s concert is. It's
Yeah.
always a train wreck in every
it's a
city.
mess. Yeah.
It's Salt and Pepper's mics don't work.
Yeah,
it's
fucking,
it's Vanilla Ice singing the
two
turtle
of the guys
rap.
from Backstreet Boys are trying to make something happen.
It's
not
ridiculous.
working. Now, 2003, he's divorced. They get divorced from the sausage. Murphy and Pervy are no longer.
That's not good.
Don't worry. There's more. 2004 in March, they divorced, but they're still together here.
Okay.
2004 in March, they go on a trip to Salzburg, Austria, Murphy and Pervy, and he is arrested for beating her and attacking her with a knife.
Whoa.
Beating her and attacking her with a knife.
That's up in the ante for sure.
That's up in the ante.
Yeah.
Oh, he's escalating this whole time. It's going to get just worse from here on out. The author that ends up doing his biography later on says, quote, he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. When sober, he's one of the nicest and friendliest people I've ever met. When drunk, he's dangerous and aggressive.
All right.
No shit. He receives a 4-month suspended sentence for this assault on his wife. So she actually goes through with this one.
Oh, shit.
And I think once it was a knife was involved, it was out of her
now
hands,
we gotta
I believe.
escalate this.
So what do? What does she do after this? To celebrate him getting off? She marries him again.
Oh, my God.
What are you fucking marrying this guy again
He's
for? You're a fucking millionaire. You don't have to do this. You don't live in a trailer park and you're like, oh, how am I going to pay my rent? I guess No, you're a millionaire. Kick this asshole to the curb, find somebody else. No.
I'll bet they have intense sex, and that's
They
what she
have
doesn't
to.
want to let go
They
of.
get married on top of a ski jumping ramp.
Oh, but.
So, of course, dude, that's the equivalent.
She should have pushed his ass off.
This is the equivalent of Mayfield getting married on the infield. This is the same thing, dude. It's so funny. I forgot. He should have been... But Edwin Valero, you'll see why it's okay. So I was going to say I should have put Mayfield into the equivalent, but I feel like he's more Ben Cousins for some reason. So August 24th, 2004.
Yeah.
He's at home. He's
Yeah.
at a cottage they have somewhere. They have multiple homes.
Of course.
He's drinking heavily with a friend of his, a 59-year-old guy named Jesus Christ. Arno Hujanen, who's a 59-year-old guy who they're friends with, and this guy does maintenance work for him around his house, and they're buddies, and they drink together.
And this is what year?
This is 2004.
Okay,
August
so
24th,
he's
2004.
41 years old.
He's 41 years
Hanging
old.
out with 59-year-old dudes.
Drinking beer, sitting around the cottage, okay?
What a fucking degenerate.
Okay, now, while they're there, they play a game. It's a traditional... You're going to laugh at this. It's a traditional Scandinavian finger-pulling contest. No, there's no farting involved, okay?
What the fuck is
Do you
this
know
game?
how long it took me to figure out what this was and not just have to say, I guess they're seeing who can fart the most when they pull their fingers? Okay.
My uncle would have been great at this game.
It's described as you're bored. A game of linking middle fingers across a small card table and attempting on the referee's whistle to yank your opponent out of his seat and over to your side. It's tug of war with your middle fingers over a table. Stupid as shit. They're doing this. Apparently, he gets super pissed, Matti does.
He can't beat a 59-year-old dude.
He gets super fucking mad at this and stabs the guy twice.
Holy shit.
Stabbed him with a 6-inch knife twice in the back. Fucking hacked at him. Like, attacked him and stabbed his ass.
My Christ.
Yeah, the police come. Both Matti and Murphy are both arrested.
What?
Because it's their house.
Okay.
So they arrest them both. They have to wake her up to arrest her. She doesn't even know what the hell's going on. She's released after questioning because she didn't even know what was happening.
Right.
So whatever. They were both hammered.
Shit, yeah.
Hammered. Husband and wife. His blood alcohol level, I don't know what they use in Finland for blood alcohol level, but his blood alcohol level was 3.4. I don't know what that is.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if that's equivalent to 0.34
Right.
over here. I don't know what it is, but it's so drunk he didn't even know where he was, basically. Unbelievable.
Sweet Pete.
Yeah.
He's stabbing the elderly over a finger-pulling game.
That's what I mean. This is getting crazy. This guy he has to stay in the hospital for like a week, too.
Fuck.
2 good stabs. He didn't just they weren't superficial. He stabbed him twice in the fucking back like a maniac. He's arrested for attempted manslaughter.
Wow.
This is no joke. Like, this is for real. Fuck, man. This is no joke.
That's we're dying laughing.
I can't stop laughing, but no joke, man. It's funnier because nobody speaks English. That makes it okay. And now they're going to try this in court on October 27th, 2004. If found guilty, he could be sentenced to as much as 9 years in prison for this attempted manslaughter. His wife is expected to be there, but they said that she's probably not going to testify against him because in Finland, spouses are not required to testify against each other unless they want to, unless they really want to fuck the other person.
Right.
Now, October 27th, like we said, 2004, is sentencing.
Yeah.
He's found guilty of this pretty clearly.
Because what the fuck else?
He had no defense. This was his defense at sentencing. He said, quote, "I don't remember anything."
Okay.
That's it. I don't remember what happened, so I don't know
boy.
whatever. The judge says, well, tell you what, let's give you some time to think about it. Maybe it'll jog your memory.
Remember.
You, sir, may fuck off for 26 months in prison.
Whoa.
Eat dick, sir.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years in prison, and he only got that low of a thing because it's his first violent offense that's gone
that far.
That's gone this far.
Apart from the sausage beating.
As far from sausage beatings and minor things here. Now, September 17th, 2005, he's released from prison.
Not even a full 2 years.
Doesn't even do the full years. He gets good time off for good behavior. He will be on probation for a while.
Okay.
He's good now, though.
Yeah.
He's good now. He's going to be on probation for a while. This is September 17th, 2005. September 21st, 2005, he's arrested again for abusing his wife.
Wow.
Again. 4 days.
Wow.
He's been out of jail 4 days.
You can't.
Well, and he's on probation.
He got home, and for those 4 days, he was stewing.
Let me ask you this,
And
Jimmy.
he finally lost his mind after what is that, 86 hours?
I'm going to give you one guess. What he attacked her with, Jimmy? What do you think?
96. A knife.
Bingo! A knife. A fucking knife.
Wow.
How stupid can you be? Now he's a fucking moron.
Did he
He's gotten
stab her?
arrested.
Did he get her?
He tried. Yeah, he cut her.
Okay.
He cut her with a fucking knife.
Boy.
He punched her and then cut her with a knife. He attacked her. She had to run away. He was trying to stab her and he cut her with a knife. So now he's in jail like a fucking idiot. And he deserves to be. This is his third stabbing incident.
Yeah.
Knives away from this guy. Ruined his whole career. He's a goddamn mess. He's sitting in a Finnish fucking jail cell. And all of a sudden the door opens up. And it's Dexter Manley, interior decorator from New York City. And he says... How is it you've come to arrive here? Seriously, first of all, this cell is just, it's dank. It's very humid over here. It's a lot of moisture, and it's playing havoc with my skin right now, my clothes. I don't feel good. I'm chafing. Need some powder. But never mind that. You.
My hair is so flat.
You. No, it's humid. It's puffy.
Oh, is
puffy,
that what it
Jimmy,
is?
it's out of control. It's out of control.
I don't know
it's
what it
frizzy.
does.
It's the frizz. I used conditioner, and I said that should tame it, and it doesn't. It doesn't. I need a new never mind all.
Sorry,
Maddie,
Dexter, I have no hair.
You, sir, are white trash. I'm sorry. I have to say it right now. You're very white, obviously. I mean, everybody knows that. But you're just white trash. I look at you, and you're just trashy. You're stabbing people. You strip clubs. You're taking your clothes off in front of... What is wrong with you? I'm sorry. I cannot do... You are white trash. You know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. He's eating with a spork, and that's all there is to it. Finnish spork, which has no fork part. It's just a spoon. And they call it a spork because it's Finland. Who knows? And poof, in a puff of glitter, he's gone.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he's very confused because he speaks no English. So he just said some dude just came in here and there's glitter everywhere.
Right.
And he couldn't explain that to the guards, which was another very confusing thing for him. So, yeah, he's arrested for that. March 16th, 2006, he's convicted of assault on his wife.
Oh, boy.
And he is sentenced to 4 months in jail for that. How do you get less?
They're so sweet.
They are. They're nice over there.
They don't say you didn't learn your lesson. Here's more time than you got before.
But 2006 is a big year for him, too, though. His biography comes out, Matti, the biography of Matti, and it's subtitled Greetings from Hell, which is appropriate here. Egon Feiner is the author.
That is the best title of a biography ever.
That is.
It's amazing.
He says that his autobiography, Greetings from Hell, quote, should be on every bookshelf next to the Bible. Okay. Sounds very born again of you.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote the book here, Egon, he said, quote, everyone knows Matti in Finland. Absolutely everyone. Maybe he's a little more George Best than David Beckham, but he is definitely one of the most famous Finnish people in history. Ski jumping is one of the national sports, and he unites two very important parts of life. The most successful ski jumper ever, and so many headlines in his private life.
And then he took off his proton pack. Egon? What the
Egon,
fuck?
yes, Egon Feiner.
There's only been one Egon in the history
that I've
of the
ever
world.
fucking heard of. Yeah, he ain't this one. It ain't this one either. Now at this point, summer of 2006. Yeah, he's out of prison. He gets out of jail. The 4 months he does there. He does actually no. He doesn't get. He's going to appeal that. We'll talk about that in a second. So he's out. He's doing his thing. He's in a pizza place in Korplahti.
Oh no.
Korplahti. Korplahti.
Sweet Pete.
He's in a pizza restaurant in Korplahti, and he.
You
Korplahti.
You sound like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah,
Gorlami.
Gorlami. No. He's got that. He is with a friend of his, longtime family friend. At this point,
Gorlami,
right? Longtime family friend. They're eating pizza.
Is it Antonio Margheriti?
It's not actually. I thought it was going to be. So he's hanging out with his friend at a pizza place.
Right.
Now we've had a couple of pizza place problems.
Pizza places keep coming up.
Keep coming up in all of these episodes. There's another pizza place problem. He has some sort of disagreement with friend he's known for 20 years in a pizza restaurant.
No.
So he stabs him. So he stabs him. He fucking stabbed the guy in a pizza restaurant. You can't do that. You can't stab people in the pizza place. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. So obviously he's in trouble again like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
2006, a movie comes out. Matti, Hell is for Heroes.
Nice.
Is a movie. It's a huge hit.
It's true.
It's true.
Hell is for Heroes for sure.
Definitely. It's a huge hit in Finland. It depicts him as what's described in an article as, quote, affable if gullible rogue who many others take advantage of.
Oh, God.
That's his version of what went on. I was fine. It wasn't me.
Not me.
It stars Jasper Pakkonen. Paakkkonen.
Christ.
Stay in Finland. You're not going to make it anywhere else. That's the guy who
Jasper.
plays Jasper, who plays him. Want to hear the description of the movie?
Of course.
A ski jumper descends from winning 4 Olympic gold medals to serving 2 years for stabbing a relative. Careers as a stripper, singer, plus 5 marriages, replete with allegations of domestic violence, are fictionalized sympathetically in this dramedy.
Wow.
At least they got this. So they knew it was funny too. Alleged exploitation, manipulation of Matti due to his naivete
right.
and gullibility,
boy.
along with deterioration of his skiing ability due to heavy drinking and bad decisions, is emphasized. Many Matti sayings, a la Yogi Berra, attributed to the Finnish skiing legend, are employed as biopic comic dialogue.
You mean they threw in the "pussy's always on my mind" quote?
Something like that, probably. Yeah, you have to throw that one in there.
Absolutely.
Now, it drew record audiences in 2006.
Wow.
An estimated 460,000 Finnish people saw that movie. That's almost 10% of the country.
Wow.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, if 35 million people saw a movie here, that's ridiculous.
That's a huge
a
movie.
lot of movie.
Yeah.
In the theater, that's insanity. That wouldn't happen.
And what is it, $8 to $12 a ticket?
I don't know what it is over there.
How much money is that? That's way too much. That's a Star Wars opening.
That's what I mean. That's what that is.
Wow.
In Finland, that's the version of that. So this brings him some more popularity again. So he's on a commercial again.
Jesus.
And I saw this commercial.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a Norwegian commercial.
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea what the product is. None whatsoever. It makes no sense.
Great.
It's a group of people, a couple of dudes and like 3 kind of party-ish looking. Like all of the dudes and the chicks, not just the chicks. They look like they're like party people, and they're like walking down a road, and they point to a house and they say, "quote Hey, Matti lives there. Could you ring the doorbell?" And the one says, "I don't dare," and then the other says, "I can do it." And they go up to the door and they ring the door, and it says his name on the doorbell, and they ring it, and he opens the door, and there's these 5 people, and they're like jaws are dropped, like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And the one girl in the middle says to him in the funniest fucking Scandinavian accent I've ever heard in my life. She says, "Do you want to party?" And I'm like, what the fuck is that? "Do you want to party?"
And then he stabs them all.
And he stabs her right in the fucking face. And he just says, "No can do," and closes the door.
What is it? Is
and
it
that's
like
the commercial.
Anti-drinking commercial?
That's the commercial. Right after that, he's sentenced to 4 months in jail for the assault on his wife in 2004. So that's good. He got another one.
Great.
2007, he declares he is done with alcohol.
Oh.
Not drinking anymore. I'm good now.
Yeah.
Everybody, good now.
Don't offer me another drink.
Not going to party anymore.
No can do.
February 2008, he might have stuck to this for a minute because he returns to the senior circuit of ski jumping, which I did not imagine they had a senior circuit.
I don't want to see that.
And wins.
Actually, I kind of do.
Old men dying on a ski jump. Kind of want to see that myself.
I want to see him crumple up.
I kind of want to see that too, just fold into pieces. He wins the International Masters Championship.
Wow.
So, I mean, shit, what are you going to do here? There was 11 competitors. Jumpers were 40 to 44 years old. Yeah. And he wins. So
he's still younger than the guy he stabbed.
Yeah. That's funny. We have a Finnish journalist here. I like throwing in their quotes on him every once in a while. She said, quote, "The Finns don't just tolerate him fitfully. They really actually seem to like him. He's a simple sporting character, really. He's a lovable, friendly guy, always in a good mood. And as a ski jumping legend, he will always have a place in Finnish hearts." When he said in 2007 that he was giving up alcohol, people were really pleased and wanted him to stick with it, but it seems like he didn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't seem like he does, as we'll get into here in a moment. More biographies of him are written through this time. An introduction into one of the biographies, he writes an intro line that says, quote, "I don't have a private life, but I do indeed have a bad image." So he gets it.
Yeah.
2009, mind you, he's still married to Murphy. He publicly announces that he had an affair with a 23-year-old woman.
Why would he do that?
I have no idea.
Why would he announce it? Why is she sleeping with him?
Okay. Well, you know what she does? She files for divorce. Would you like to know how many times she's filed for divorce? This is time number 14. She's filed for divorce 14 fucking times.
What the
They've actually
fuck?
divorced once. 13 of them were false alarms, I guess. I don't know what happened there.
Holy shit.
Just a fire drill, everybody. No problem here. 14
That's a
goddamn
lot.
times.
Eventually, you just don't believe her anymore.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, right, whatever.
Sure you did.
She filed, actually
Wow.
put paperwork in
Wow.
14 times. And this guy's such a good talker, he talked her out of it 13 times. That's crazy. He seemed at this point, everybody says he's seeming to settle down.
Yeah.
He's trying to settle down. He announces a new TV show.
Yeah.
Announces he is putting out a cookbook. Because when I think food, I think this guy must know.
Well,
he knows sausage.
He's great at dicing shit up, too.
He is. He's a good chopper.
Yeah.
He also has plans to open a ski resort near his hometown of Jaravava again, which is 160 miles north of Helsinki. And he's hanging out with his former ski jump coach, Matti Pulley. Now, 2009 in November, he follows through by presenting his own cooking web series called Matihan Se Sopan Kieti.
Anybody can do that.
Well, yeah, he filmed himself
Cook
on his
shit and put it
iPhone
on
and cooked it
YouTube.
and put it on YouTube. So there's that. Now, December 2009, he gets in an argument. As
boy.
the holidays are stressful, we
Yeah.
all know. He gets in an argument with his wife, with Murphy.
Yep.
What he ends up doing
with his version of Kim Mathers.
Yeah, with his exactly with his version of this is his Robin Givens. Here.
He's very Eminem and Kim. That's what he's doing
That's
every
what he
day.
is. Well, the blonde hair, I can see it. He looks like old Eminem. What he ends up doing is, he stabs her with a kitchen knife.
Oh fuck!
This is after he stabbed her with a kitchen knife. He beat her and then choked her with the belt from a dressing gown.
What the fuck?
So now he's choking her with a weapon after he stabbed and punched her.
Right.
So he stabbed her, and now he's choking her and punching her on the ground.
He wants her dead.
He clearly wants her fucking dead. She has head and hand injuries because she's
fighting back.
She has defensive wounds in her hands from the knife, and he's punching her in the fucking head. She ends up getting away from him somehow and running out of the house and running to the home connected to theirs and calling the police from a neighbor's house.
Okay.
He's arrested for attempted murder this time, which spends Christmas in a jail cell, which
Christmas.
Sleeping it off, I guess, probably.
How dare you think I want skis for Christmas?
That's, God damn it. Choke, stab.
Right.
His Matti Pulley there is surprised by this. He thought he was on the right track. He said, quote, "We had done so much together that I felt really bad when I read the news. I had always hoped for something else, something different, because Matti has all the possibilities of doing so much more. I steered him through practices and sent him training programs. Somehow I don't think that's going to continue."
Who the hell said that?
His coach, Matti Pulley.
All right.
You don't think somehow I don't think that's going to continue? He's just got arrested for attempted murder. I would say skiing lessons are probably second.
They're kind of off for a while.
Yeah, I would say so. January of 2010, which is the next month, she files her 15th petition for divorce. Which doesn't seem like it's going to happen because she also refuses to give evidence for the charges.
What the fuck is she doing?
She refuses to give evidence. They have to drop the attempted murder charge and drop it down to aggravated assault or illegal menace. They finally divorced for good in 2010.
Good.
Finally. So what he ends up doing is he hooks up with, after this, everybody says he's doing well again.
Yeah. He finds that 23-year-old.
Apparently, he gets engaged to Susanna, Jesus Christ, Ruo Tassalanian.
Good enough.
Who's a brand manager who appeared on the Finnish version of The Apprentice.
Holy Christ.
So she's like fucking Amorosa.
Yeah.
That's who he's going to go out with here. Apparently, she helped him give up alcohol and lead a healthier lifestyle with food and everything else. And he touts his recent success on the veteran circuit as being a sign of his healthy living and the fact that she makes him healthy. He also said he's restarting his singing career on and off and will only be making positive headlines from now on.
Right.
However, the wedding is postponed because he has a bunch of legal issues, like, I don't know, attempted murder over him. So he's doing great. He's good now.
Yeah.
The author of his book said, quote, "It won't last."
The author of his book said that.
It won't last. He said, quote, "Nobody can deal with the phenomenon Nykanen forever. And when you give him the possibility, he will drink and fight again."
Shit, yeah.
Exactly. Anytime he can, he will. There's a little Billy Ray Bates in this, too. I feel like. We have an in their own word on this one, in their own words. In their own words, quote, You, too, have ordered a beer, maybe 2 or 3 in a bar from time to time, but that wasn't in the newspapers the next day. I don't have a private life. Sometimes the media can make you look like a clown. Consider yourself lucky your name isn't Matti Nykanen. So that's his... No, you did that to yourself.
The difference is if I have 2 or 3 beers in a bar, I don't go home and try to stab my fucking wife.
That's the difference right there.
I'll stab my 59-year-old finger-pulling friend.
Yeah, that's... So now even his shit's delayed. He's got... ex-wife who he stabbed 3 times now, 3 different times, stabbed his friend twice in the back, then stabbed a guy in a pizza place, has a failed pop career, just medals are sold to disgrace. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy. I feel bad for all these people, but not nearly as bad as I feel for
what the fuck?
Tons of them. Matti Nykanen, Team Finland coordinator for the Lahti area Finland Financial Services.
What?
Matti Nykanen, product owner and architect at ABB Oi Drives, working with field houses and industrial Ethernet in Helsinki, Finland. He's a senior design engineer.
Wow.
Matti Nykanen, supervisor at Nokia in the Turku, Finland area.
Just a guy that talks on his phone.
That's just a guy that walks and talks on his phone. And finally, and also to Matti Nykanen, a flight attendant on Afghanistan Airlines.
Oh, Jesus.
And finally, Matti Nykanen, a hockey prospect born in 1988 in Finland.
Wow.
He currently plays for Aku Division III hockey team.
Great.
I don't know if that's his son or not.
Really?
I could not
but
find
that's
out
what
if
his
that's
son
his
is
son.
named.
But there's a Matti Nykanen born in the year that he had a son that
shit.
plays hockey in Finland.
Wow. And his son is a junior for sure.
Probably. And this here, Matti Nykanen seems to be like a common name in Finland. So it might not be his son, but it really works out.
And they may be named after him.
That's the other thing. This guy
because
probably
he's so
is.
Famous.
He's born in 88.
Yeah.
If their name's Nykanen, you're naming him Matti because at that point he was a god. He was on North Korean postage stamps, for Christ's sake.
Fuck yeah.
So August 12th.
The Supreme Leader was a fan.
A big fan. August 24, 2010.
I bet you there's so many North Koreans named Dennis Rodman today.
Probably. And Matti from the 80s.
Yeah.
They probably are. I would love to see if there's any North Koreans named Matti. I'm not even fucking around.
I want to know if there are any named Dennis Rodman.
That too. But
Dennis Rodman I
would like to know if there's any 30-year-olds named Matti running around North Korea, if they live that long there. So October 24, 2010, this is court for assault on the wife on Christmas Day here. He is sentenced to 16 months in jail for that. The court ruled a knife was used in the assault and your crime is considered aggravated. You, sir, may fuck off again. 16 months. Wow.
So lenient.
Yes, he's convicted of grievous bodily harm. And
what happens if
you
actually kill somebody there?
You know, they look at you every once in a while. It's like 5 years. But if you're good, some good behavior, if you know,
fucking crazy.
If you're decent at hockey, maybe they'll get you out a little early, something like that. Like I said, he's convicted of grievous bodily harm, inflicting of it, and 16 months in jail. He's also ordered to pay 5,000 euros in compensation to his wife for pain and emotional suffering, and 3,000 euros for court expenses.
Wow.
So he's also $8,000 in the hole about this.
Yeah.
Appeals. There's an appeal to this. He's out during his appeal. June 23rd, 2011, he loses his appeal, and he's sentenced to 16 months in jail and sent to jail for 16 months.
Sure.
He gets out. November 2015.
Okay.
You would think he's just a national disgrace at this point. Nope. November 2015, he is invited to Finland's Independence Day ball.
What?
Where he says he's determined to steer clear of alcohol. This is the president's. This is the president that holds this party. The president announced his special guests, and it'll be figures who've made a contribution to the nation's cultural life, and that includes all-time great ski jumper like Matti. He says that Matti, ski jumping unites us as Finns and has brought us decades of thrills, joy, unforgettable moments, and stab wounds. Also, you forgot that, Mr. President. Matti is now married to another woman named Pia. So this is fifth marriage here.
Second Pia.
He said that he and Pia are excited about shaking hands with the presidential couple, and he's going to follow protocol. He's going to dress in a tuxedo, and he doesn't want to make an asshole out of himself. He says he doesn't want to make any further headlines. He's going to wear a tuxedo, not drink any alcohol, shake hands like a normal person, show he could be a good boy. He says, in their own words, quote, I want to respect the sanctity of the Independence Ball, but I'm also really tired of the constant rumba. So it's best just to leave out the alcohol. I can promise that I won't be touching a drop, not even the punch. I'll be driving there.
The punch.
Not even the punch.
I don't want sugar in me.
He said, quote, the whole country's probably waiting for me to get off my face and mess up badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're like, this is going to be fun. He's going to stab the president. This is going to be great.
The booze isn't the problem, sir. Stay away from knives. How about we do that?
And booze. He's going to get in a finger-pulling competition with the president and then stab him in the back twice. This is not great. So in 2017, this is September of 2017, he's supposed to be, okay, he gets in a fight in the street. They find him in the street somewhere with a black eye, look all beat up. He got in a drunken brawl of the street. He says, quote, hey, no one's killing me. If you hit, I'll hit you back. I walked, I went the right way, and the conscience went off. The guys say I lay unconscious on the street for 20 minutes.
Whoa.
So he is out
That's
cold.
a long time.
That's brain damage time right there. People tried to wake him up, and they eventually got an ambulance there. They wanted him to go to the hospital. He refused.
Of course.
He refused.
He's a dipshit.
He said he didn't. He said, quote, the nurses would have wanted to take it with me, but I'm not going to any hospital in the middle of the night. I did not quite compete, but alcohol had a share in the matter.
Okay.
I went to the hotel at night in the blood, he says. So basically he says that he didn't really fight back, I think is what he's saying. Yeah. I was drunk and I got my ass kicked, is what he's saying.
He took advantage of an old man. Like when I stabbed a 59-year-old man.
Yeah, no shit. November 2017, he is hired. He's like signing autographs.
Yeah.
There's a cruise and he's like on the cruise signing autographs. Yeah. He's like one of these hey, come meet Matti, you know, type of thing. He's got 2 security guys at the table with him because they want to make sure he doesn't stab anybody or anything like that. Anyway, he got shit hammered. Yeah. Absolutely shit hammered. He was drinking liquor, hard liquor, and got so fucking drunk that he passed out in the room, like in the where the people were getting autographs, and his 2 security guys had to carry him to his room. They had to pick him up off the floor and carry him to his room.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, he was laid to sleep. This was before anybody came for autographs even. They were waiting. They're like, there he is, I'm online, I'm 10th online, and he fell on the floor, and they carried him away, and he's gone. So he's still a disaster. Yeah. That was 3 months ago, 2 months ago. So he's still a complete mess. Can't get enough of Matti?
No.
I honestly can't get enough of Matti. I want more of this guy. You can go to Amazon.com and get that Matti biography by Igor Thainer for $19.95. Only
Egon,
one.
Right?
Egon.
Yeah.
Egon. Igor.
Oh, it is Igor.
Igor.
Okay.
It says Egon. I've seen Egon and Igor.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Egon because it's funny.
It's probably a fucking shit translation.
It's probably what it is. One left in stock over there. So get there. He has albums. Download his. You can buy his songs online. They're terrible.
Don't buy those.
It's so bad. Also, link to his official site, like on IMDb.
Yeah.
Link to his site is no longer up. So I found another site that he has, and
he couldn't afford his GoDaddy subscription.
It doesn't open. His site's like a piece of shit, and you click on it, it doesn't open, and it says it's going to redirect you there, and then nothing happens.
It redirects through North Korea.
Yeah, exactly. And you get a picture of his postage stamp, and it's over with. But that's Matti Nykanen.
My Christ.
That is Finnish ski jumping. That is a crazy-ass episode, one of our craziest episodes ever.
Isn't it amazing that a country still can't create a more famous Finn than Dan Marino? Like, Dan Marino's most famous Finn. Like, Dan Marino, Mercury Morris.
Dolphins.
Fins, right.
Fins,
the
yes,
Dolphins,
yes,
right.
yes. Yeah.
You're getting
You're getting it, yes.
Those are the most famous
on it with these
Finns.
fucking puns tonight, man. Jesus Christ. You know who else? Flipper Anderson,
there
Jimmy.
You go.
That's who else. Son of a bitch.
Anyway. A whole country.
That's Matti Nykanen in the crazy little country of Finland.
Yes.
That's a wild one. Like we said, we're going to give you all the guys you know about and everybody. Believe me, it's all coming. This is better. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is fucking better than hearing about Chris Benoit.
Goddamn right.
It's better. It's just much better, and it's funnier. And if you agree with us, you can show us that by going to iTunes and giving us a review. Please give us 5 stars. Tell us you're following instructions, following directions. Everything like that. You can go to crimeandsports.threadless.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder merchandising needs. Also, if you want to be an amazing person, like one of our awesome people who have produced and have given us everything that we have. that we can even claim. You can do that by going to patreon.com/crimeandsports, or you can make a one-time donation at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. And believe me, every single penny is super appreciated. Live show in Boston, February the 18th, 4 p.m. at Laugh Boston. 1 p.m. is Small Town Murder, 4 p.m. Crime in Sports. And if you'd like to get a hold of the show, you can do that, no problem at all. At Crime and Sports on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/Crime and Sports, crimeandsports@gmail.com, Crime and Sports everywhere, all over the world, including Finland, goddammit. And we have an amazingly long list of incredible people that we just want to hug, but they're too far away.
Truly.
Our producers, Jimmy, why don't you hit us with that list right now?
This week, you guys was fucking incredible. Chrissy-Ann Castaldi and Sarah Gilbo continue to be fantastic. Thank you both for being just angels to us.
We hope everything's going well over there.
No doubt. I don't know if you saw the email. We got an email from Mercury DePhillips. It's an email about a 60-year-old in an apron, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, by the way. And then
great.
I got a snap today from her daughter asking if we got it, and I was like, yeah, I've seen that one. And then she said that she thought we ignored it. We did not ignore it.
We didn't ignore it.
And she looks terrific in it. There was a little bit of side boob, and the email said, "Brace yourself for a 60-year-old side boob."
And
by the way,
it's fine.
I've slept with much uglier girls in their 20s, so good for you, Mercury. Keep it up. You're doing fine. Benito,
I don't know what was the worst part of that statement. I don't know what's going to make everybody madder, but we'll find out.
We'll get
At
emails.
Wissman sucks. Guys, don't send it to the page.
Benito Martinez, Mariah Menhier over in Deutschland. No,
she's great.
And she's Dutch. I forget.
She's Dutch.
She told me where she's at.
Yeah, Deutschland's
and
Germany.
I forget every time.
She's Dutch. She is definitely Dutch.
I try so.
Netherlands. Yes.
No, it's not.
Netherlands is Dutch.
Is that where she's at?
If she's Dutch, then yeah.
Okay. It is the Netherlands.
Yes,
That's definitely right. Thank you, Mariah, for being fantastic. Adam Davies, Jessica Leitke, Roxy Goetz, Daniel Whitford, Julian Flores, Tiffany Robertson, where did I go? Alyssa Rosas?
Rosas?
It's 2 S's.
Rosas?
Yeah.
Rosas?
Ethan Ford, Kelsey Munoz. I hope your little girl gets better. Thank you so much. Andrea Johnson, Barbara Lamka, Leslie Green, Lonnie or Lonnie. It's Lonnie, right?
Let's go with
That's
Lonnie.
Yeah. Lonnie Stratch, David Stanich, David L. Hemsley, Xander Myers, Callum Siglinski. He donated both on Patreon and then over at PayPal. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the effort.
Xander Myers.
Cool.
Did I say? I said Xander Myers.
Yeah.
Scott Howells. He loved your an episode of Crime and Sports. So thanks, Scott.
Awesome.
Appreciate you. Extraordinary Stories podcast. Angela Chadwick. Go listen to that Extraordinary Stories podcast. Stephanie Chapman.
We don't know if it's good, but they gave us some money, so give them a shot.
Cash, so
give them a look.
You.
Hey, give them a chance.
Jennifer Thompson did both also. Donated on Patreon and then over at PayPal. Thank you, Jennifer. Spencer Gaynor. Samantha Gibson. Dominique Waller. Drunk Bray Wyatt. That's fascinating.
Bray Wyatt.
I hope
that's a wrestler, right?
Name you drunk. Really?
Bray Wyatt's a wrestler?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've heard that name.
So Drunk Bray Wyatt.
I don't watch modern wrestling, but I've heard that name before.
That's true. Amy Starr. Thank you, Amy. Josh Cole and Britt Cole. Thank you both. Keith. Is it Keith? No, it's Kevin. Kevin Wagner, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Wagner in Jersey sent. So is it Kevin? It's got to be Kevin. Yeah, Kevin Wagner sent money through the guy sends money through the fucking
That's
mail.
so cool. Thank you, man.
Snail mail shit.
It's so cool.
Fantastic.
It's great. I feel like my grandmother sent me a card when I'm 8. It's awesome. Thank you, dude. Seriously.
Lena Sears, Hazy Nelson, Olivia Fung, Becky Miller, Stephanie Dymick. No, Stephen Dymick, not Stephanie. Stephen, bro, I'm so sorry. Stephen Dymick.
We just gave you a Janet.
Right. Carissa Snyder, Pete Yankura. Pete Yankura. That's it.
Okay.
He's got Yank at the beginning of his last name.
That gets you very excited. You're like, hey, my man.
It makes me go, that's definitely not Yank.
My man.
Right. Nadia Scalia. Scully. Skauli. Scully.
Sure.
Right?
We'll call it that.
Nadia. Thank you, Nadia. Ashley Hathaway, Doug Burton, Daniel Frumkin, Amy, Jesus Christ, really? The easiest. Amy L. Jones, and I'm going to fucking stutter that?
Yeah, Amy Jones is about as easy as you get. You're not going to get
Amy,
much better than that.
Right. So. Amy L. Jones, thank you. Talina Jensen, Elizabeth Armour, Jared Crook, Stacy Huffaker. She's
the best. Thank you.
There's got to be something.
And we figured it out. Yes.
Did you? you?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
But there's an algorithm there to that.
Thank you.
She sent us a message explaining it.
Oh,
We're like,
hilarious.
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
For everything.
Jared Crooks, I already said that. Stephanie Huffaker, there she is. Stephen Mace, Catherine Collado, Esther Wright, Michelle Jolly. She's fantastic also.
Oh, yeah.
She sends me shit on Snap. Which
Australian, right?
Yes, I think so. Amy Pohanic.
Oh, yeah.
Rise Probin, Rachel Dean, Carol Hayden. Thank you so much, Carol, by the way. That was a fucking unbelievable donation. Thank you.
Nice of you.
Luke Rogers, Nilu Rafsanjani. What? Are you shitting me?
You got
that was
right.
amazing. She's going to be blown away. Kathleen Thill, Samantha Taylor. She has a podcast called Hidden Staircase Podcast. So listen to that if you can.
Okay.
Megan Strappick, of course.
Of course.
She didn't hear her name the other day, so I just wanted to make sure. Megan Strappick. There it is.
And we'll
there
definitely
you are.
see you in Boston.
For sure. Geekcast Live podcast. I'm not sure what that one is.
Why
I
are all
haven't
these
listened to it yet.
podcasts donating? Oh, because they want to plug.
Of course
That's
they
pretty
do.
fucking
Isn't that fucking
That's
clever?
weird.
That's
very
very
clever,
smart of
though.
them.
We should have thought of that back in the day when we needed
Right, no doubt.
Fucking, yeah. Good job. Way to think, guys.
Dana Grayson started a podcast, and he has a website, stateofgrayson.com. He's a trucker, and
we love Dana. He's a good
fantastic.
guy.
He's
give
a
him a
good
shot.
dude.
Whether it's good or not, listen to him and give him a shot because he's a good guy, and
that's what
give
it
him
is.
a chance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brandy Allen donated. She's an author. She's the one that sent us those children's books
those are great.
last
My
week.
daughter loved that. She's an artist. My daughter.
Yeah.
She was like, the illustrations are beautiful.
And there
she
leaves
wanted us
so
to tell
much
you that.
to the imagination.
Yeah.
My daughter had all kinds of questions. I was like, thanks a lot, Brandy.
She just wanted her to know how beautiful she thought her illustrations were.
And my 7-year-old wanted more explanation. I was like, I don't know.
What do
the
you want
words
from
are in
me?
the book.
I don't know.
That's what you got. That's it.
She's from Spain. I don't know what to tell you.
She's from America. Lives in Spain.
I know.
Okay. Joseph Shelpman, Zachary Dubois, and Lauren Leberjois. Isn't that fucking
Jesus?
Both of them right next to each other.
Coming out.
James Cook, Naima Shea, Amy Negley, Timothy Young, and then Wyvern Workshop. I'm not sure what that is, but Google that and give them some whatever business. Tyler Dyke, I think, or Dick. It can't be
Is
Dick,
either
right?
one? Yeah.
It's
I hope
DYK. It's got to be Dyke, right?
I would think.
I don't know. Tyler.
Dyke.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry, dude. John Weipert, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
For everything
honestly.
you guys do. Really quickly, I just, listen, we get a ton of fucking emails, and we get a lot of emails from people telling us that we help them through a lot of tough stuff, like legit life challenges and legit hurdles that I can't fathom being faced with.
And the thing is, we pay attention to them.
Right.
And we'll tell each other, oh my God, did you see that one from that? And we talk about it, and it means the world to us.
Does.
It really does.
I'm not thankful for the awful obstacles, obviously, but I'm thankful for the grace and humble humility with which these people handle the things that are being thrown at them.
Yes.
I'm a cold-hearted asshole most of the days, and it's because of the tortures that I've endured in my short lifetime, which is it's only gotten this far by the grace of dumb luck, chance, and happenstance that I'm here now. And there are people in this world suffering through turbulent and uncertain futures. And I just want you guys to know that we think about that stuff all the time. Every goddamn day I think about it. And I thank you guys for listening. I thank you for laughing. I thank you for getting it. But thank you for spending your time with us, because that's the shit that's more valuable than money. And I realize we entertain you in a cubicle in your car, sometimes more intimately that in your house or in your bed. But you're doing something for us when you laugh and you enjoy it. And time is precious. And when you spend it a little on a reviewing this, interacting on social media, telling a friend, or actually giving a shit and listening, you guys are giving something back, giving to us something that you can't get back. And that's why we try to involve you. Right. So from the bottom of my cold, black, brittle, calloused, shitty heart, thank you guys so much for caring, and thanks for being around.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much. We appreciate you, Karen, and we appreciate you guys kind of making us a part of what you do and a part of your life and a part of everything. And and then if you do anything extra for us, that's just ridiculous.
It's amazing.
It's so amazing that it's actually silly.
Yeah.
That's how awesome it is. So
true.
now, what if one of these fine people wanted to get a hold of a gentleman like yourself, Jimmy? How could they do that?
You can find me at Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I try to put things up quite frequently, and we read all the emails, and we try to get back to as many as possible. We had one. There's a detective.
This is the best thing
fucking
ever.
Amazing.
Holy shit.
No names, no jurisdiction, no town, no state. I'm telling you shit, but I will tell you, there's a detective.
Homicide. Homicide.
When he investigates and questions people, the first line he says to them is, "How is it you've come to arrive here?"
With the pimp accent. Imagine you are a murder suspect and you go in there. You're like, what are they going to ask me? They're going to ask me if I saw her last. Did I kill her? Why is there blood on my shoes? And he comes in and goes, how is it you've come to arrive here in that accent? That has to be the most confusing, scary, frightening thing on the planet. Like, this guy's lost his fucking mind.
We have changed something.
Oh, I love that so much. That is the best.
If that's the only thing we ever change, I'm fucking content.
I
can die tomorrow.
That's amazing.
Happy.
I'm so thrilled with that, man. So, yes, get a hold of Jimmy there. If you want to get a hold of me, you can do it very easily at Jimmy P is Funny.
Yes.
Or you can try to copy and paste my last name. Just copy and paste it. Don't spell it. There's an I in there. It's very confusing. It's worse than a Finnish name without kumlauts. That said, everybody, goddamn do we have a good time this week.
That was a great one.
That was fun. And, of course, we'll be back next week and every other week after that. As a matter of fact, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey. Everyone out there should listen to Small Town Murder. You really should, mainly because you never know who's next door. And that's the point of this show, really. You never know who is next door. You never know what's going to happen on Small Town Murder. That's what makes it so wonderful. The only thing you do know is that people are going to die, and we're probably going to make jokes about it. That's it. That's all we can promise you. We dig into these towns. We see what makes them tick, from local legends to scandals they may have had. And, of course, the biggest scandals of all, horrible murders that take place there. And we put our, what I feel is a completely appropriate comedic spin on the whole thing. And you know you need a laugh right now. So get in there, listen to Small Town Murder, follow Small Town Murder on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Small Town Murder early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.